I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Watch this. You know, say the world general Daily Ranks says, I'm ready for it, you know. Ali cup and a Folly cup, you know, say, it's a high grade, it's not a Mali cup. Saying, big up, a matter of fact, remember big up the sponsors, them first. Complete Shipping, Sam Isaacs and Son, Western Sports. Big up, but you know how it go. ASK Courier, big up yourself, Showtime Ambulance, and we have big up Isato. And guess what? Me big up some of my virgin them, because them are going to do it, because it's a big day. Big up Sambo. Big up Bats, Barris, watching the Valley, think me not see you. Big up yourself. Who again Daily Ranks if I big up Clint and big up the general, you know what it go. It's all about Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, August 13, 14, 15, 16, 137 Mountain View Avenue. You know, over excellence and that. It's a big day, so make sure you're there. Daily Ranks. I want more feet, man. My feet, you see? Ali Cup.
All right. Good morning. It is still morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am Manning's man. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody is doing fine. It is the day that the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. Yeah? Let us do that. It's a good day, and God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. All right, want to big up all the persons who are here with us this morning. And I Am Sure Sports, we're going to have a big one. We give thanks to the Lord. You understand me? You know, when we start our programs, we say always, we look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord, who has made the heavens and the earth. You know, the Lord keeps us, and he never slumbers, and he never, ever sleeps. It is Emancipation Day. But the real freedom is not just freedom from the slavery of some other human, but it's to be free in our mind and in our hearts. That we are free. You understand me, people? We are free. We are free indeed. And who the Son sets free is free indeed. And that's a freedom in our hearts and in our minds. And so we are grateful to the Most High God that we have freedom in Him this morning. All right, we're going to have a 2-hour or so show today. Want to remind you of the Ali Cup. We had Ali Cup discussions yesterday with our friends. Yep. With our friends from Excelsior. Yeah, man, and it was a big deal. And so we are so grateful that they joined us, trying to get this set up my stuff so I can connect my WhatsApp right here. I don't know what is going on. Let's see. So we can connect to WhatsApp. I don't know. So my time these things they just reset on their own, You understand me? So we're setting that up so we can have you join us, and we're gonna have a few persons who will be on the show with us. We're gonna probably have Bam from Bam Sports join in us today on the show at some point. So big up yourself, people. Yeah, big up. Big up yourselves. It's going to be a good show, though. It's going to be a very good show. As usual, we don't ask or demand a lot from you, except that you do the normal things. You hit the like button, you subscribe, and you share, right? You just do that for us, and we're good to go. We're good to go. Hit the subscribe button. You like and you share the content. So that means if you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe right now. If you're already a subscriber, invite someone else to be part of the work here at I Am Sure Sports. Want to big up all the persons who are already in the comment section. Siobhan Peart, I see you. Caribbean Rivers and Seas. It says, Bundong JFF Fire. All right, it's a Pon the Boy Speed. All right. Nitro says, bless up, Manning's man, Blue Blood. Indeed, Nitro. Siobhan Peart says, thanks for the show, Manning's man. Remember to like the show, he says. We also see Peso up in the building as well. George Preston is here. He says, good afternoon. Just checking up on Manning's man on the chat. Yeah, man. Brian Myton is also here. Caribbean football gone to the dogs. When CB can trick the people there, take away their clubs and mash it up, shake my head. At them, Manning's man says, well, hold them, Manning's man. Bala Car says, my bro. Big up Bala Car. Proud of him, When I call in time, you go call in. What a pre, my bro. And I proud of Bala Car, Because start out. Hold that Manning's man. Butler by Chapitan Maroon. The send go tier 2. Oh, my Lord, Yo, one thing I will say, Jason, go and bless up yourself, Steph Curry, up. Simon Preston, I am doing well. Simon Preston is normally a Friday person, So I'm supposed to be on the show on Fridays, and I don't know. But sometimes Simon dodge out the thing, Him probably, what them call him thing, Simon? Him probably a prepare him sermon, Simon is a preacher, You understand me? But nonetheless, we're going to send the link. Yeah, man. We're going to send the link and see if we can get, a couple of persons on the show with us. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Mount Pleasant acquisition of a third division club in Belgium, and the connection that they have to a team in the top league there, and how this is going to work, how this will affect their squad. And now it will give you like a little bit more insight into what they have been doing in terms of making all these transfers and stuff. Yeah, Bam, it has been sent to you, and Simon, you have it as well. So I think tomorrow, tomorrow, the Jamaica U15 supposed to be heading into action in that U15 tournament. I think it's tomorrow, the 2nd of August. I have not yet seen the squad. Maybe it's out there. And to be truthful, I have not been digging, but I have been, hoping that it would become public. And then from there, I'd speak, haven't seen it yet. But we have BAM Sport. So I'm going to have BAM Sport join, and we're going to have a little bit of discussion. BAM Sport, good morning. Welcome to the show. Happy Emancipation Day. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to your viewers. Yeah, blessed Emancipation Day. Hope everyone is doing well. People, if you're going out on the road, it's crazy time during the holiday time. So just make sure you take extra caution when you're traversing on the streets. And, say a prayer before you leave and say a prayer when you get back home.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thing, because yesterday there were two major accidents in St. Anne. The man may be a roundabout. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the one where the truck
The
fell over.
truck turnover with, and I
And
mean,
people, why is it that whenever truck turn over, brother? We always have to loot the truck, Richie.
Lord,
Yo,
Bob, the
you
truck.
see that video, brother?
Before ambulance and police got on the scene, the contents of the truck.
We're missing.
All right. So, and if you know the area, when you're out there, you see nobody. It's not like
Yeah,
there's a
man.
house. It's not like there's a
Yeah,
house next door. But as soon as a vehicle turns over there, it like in no time, like the swarm of people, it's ridiculous. And they have made some adjustments. They have put some of these things on the road that is supposed to help with slowing down the vehicles. But I don't know. I feel like that sharp corner at the roundabout is one of the reasons why they have so many accidents, and maybe they need to just let it like extend it so that people can just merge into traffic instead of like turning. I don't know. Maybe that will help the trucks, but it is crazy, man. Too many accidents. They need to sort it out. And then there was a next one out in CLM, and that one was not a good accident. Serious injury.
yeah, that was yeah, really, yeah, not something that you want to see happening on the roads, especially those trucks and stuff. Yeah, I just think that we need to probably be a little bit more cautious to when we are traverse on the roads and stuff.
Yeah.
But
What I want to ask you is that you think like if like when the trucks turn over, you think like people should take the contents?
no, boss. I agree with that, Bridget. I agree with that, boss.
What about the people who are saying that? But the things are insured, and they are the same one who are helping the driver, and they set the driver down on the side and say, "We call the ambulance."
No, man, me not big boss. Me not agree with that, brother. Yeah, me not agree with that. No, generally, but people do it, and I suppose the insurance will cover it and stuff. But yeah, me not particularly agree with that.
Okay. People, I would love to know what the people think. Like if a truck with chicken turned over, and you're passing, if you would stop and take up a case. I don't know. I I don't know. It just I feel like there's a part of it that is not right, because the persons could be seriously injured, and we are more concerned with the contents of the vehicle. But big news in Jamaica's football, I must say that I think this is a step in the right direction at Mount Pleasant, and we're going to have some discussions on Monday with one of the newly appointed head out there at Mount Pleasant. So we're going to have that interview on Monday. But I don't know if you're aware of all the details, Bam, but big news. Let's start with that, where they have acquired a third division club in Belgium, and that club is closely connected to what's the name of that team that Shamar used to play for in Belgium?
Charleroi.
Yeah, right. So they're connected to that club, so that It's almost like their feeder club. So I think this is a very important acquisition. So players could start actually in the third tier, and based on how they perform, even say the club doesn't get promoted to the second tier, they could still move up to play for that other club in the top league. What in Belgium, and so we expect that several players would be moving from the present setup of players here in Jamaica to join the club there, which is why they may have been making some of the acquisitions that to us it seemed like it doesn't make any sense in for the local league. What is your take on the whole issue and yeah, your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good investment, I would say. I mean, especially from a Jamaican perspective. I think it's probably the first time that you would have seen a Jamaican Premier League club owning or buying majority shares or interest in a club anywhere outside of Jamaica. So I think that in itself is a massive move. I'm not so sure about the connection with Charleroi in terms of how it's gonna see players moving because Charleroi, they are in the Belgian Pro League, but they also have a team in the Belgian Challenge Cup, which is a second division. So it might be a little bit difficult, but I think also it's a good stepping stone for Jamaican players to go over into Europe and play at a level where they have the time to acclimatize and adjust to the pace of football over there and the culture and everything. Because oftentimes when the players go into like the first divisions, it's almost as if you don't get any time to settle down. It's almost as if you have to go there and start delivering right away. So I think in a lower division, it will give you time, especially if you're young enough. You'll give you time to build up and to improve your performances over time, and then you can make that big jump. The team is actually a good performing team in the third division. They finished second in the regular season last season, but you know they have a playoff structure similar to the JPL. So when they went into the playoff, they actually finished third, and it's only one team from the third division that mixed up into the second division. So I would say it's a good team that has a good foundation. I was looking through the roster and transfer market, and I mean they have players who are from Belgium, but they also have a few players from France, and they have a few African players as well. What was interesting too was which you could see them making a plan to have a good run in this season, in that they hired a manager who was coaching a team in the second division. So they brought him down to the third division now. So they hired him in July on the 1st. So you can see that they are planning now to make a move to go forward. And I mean, with Mount Pleasant coming in and acquiring shares or ownership of the club, I fully expect, off the top, I know that 3 players from Mount Pleasant are expected to go there, which is
Understand it is
Sule
5.
McCullough. Well,
Yeah.
I know 3 originally. I know Sule McCullough, Shaquan Davis, and Devontae Campbell are expected to go. I think there's another 2 players that are expected to go as well. But I mean, certainly with the acquisition of even the players from Haiti,
Yeah.
I'm expecting that some of them will make that transition. And it could be an avenue where you see other Caribbean nationals coming to Mount Pleasant, and once they fit the bill, then they move on to that team. And I mean, if the team eventually goes up to the second division, you will also see more players. So it's a wider market. So I think you will see Mount Pleasant also attracting players now from even the Americas, the North American leagues. You will see players probably want to come to Mount Pleasant, thinking that they could get an opportunity to go over into Belgium and to play professional football there. And I mean, Mount Pleasant will benefit from transfer fees, because obviously if players go over to Belgium and do well and make transition to other clubs, there will be some sell-on structure in place. I also think it will benefit them from a coaching perspective too, because I mean, see, Theodore Whitmore is doing his pro license now. I'm sure that there may be an opportunity sometime, maybe in the off season or at some juncture, for him to go over there and to develop in that environment and to learn as well. So I mean, like I said, I think I only can see the good from it from a Jamaican football perspective, and hopefully it will spread around the league because more president would have bought players from a number of other Jamaican clubs, which they pay good transfer fees for these players. And if clubs are smart, they can also attach
Sell-on clauses.
meaningful sell-on clauses onto the sale of players. So I mean they can benefit in the long run. So I think it's a good thing for our footballing landscape, and it only can get better.
Yeah, I see Simon saying that Keith Kelly was at loan at that same club in 2002 to 2003. Interesting. I didn't know that. That he was the first Jamaican to play in Belgium. Yeah. I
Yeah, man,
wonder.
he went there on loan from PSG.
Yeah. I am wondering, like, sometimes, like, well, I don't know what it is like in Belgium, but I know at least in England, you have to be at a certain, and maybe that is just the Premier League, like how your nation is ranked and work permit and those things. This would not be a factor in Belgium because it would appear like in these other countries, in Europe, it's easier to get into the leagues and then move even into Championship and Premier League in England, especially for a younger player. So, say for example, Franco, who is a young Haitian, were to move there, it would make his transition and spend say 3 years there. It would make his transition, say, to the Premier League or the Championship if he gets to that level a whole lot easier than if he spent those years playing in Jamaica. Is that the case?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I think starting. I mean, a lot of persons want players to go to Europe and want them to start at the top division. I think sometimes, and I mean, we have admitted that we have not done a good job at developing players here at a high level for them to go there and really dominate in terms of in volume. Yeah, you may have few players that will go there and do well, but the majority of our players that go there, they don't hit the ground running right away. And so for them to be going to a third division club, which is basically an affiliate to their home club, I mean, the environment there will probably be better in terms of giving them the time that they need to get acclimatized to the culture and the style of play and the whole atmosphere and the environment and stuff. And so it's not as if it's a rush situation where they're gonna just go there and if they don't do well, they're just gonna send them back home. I mean, the understanding is that they will need time to acclimatize and they will need time to adjust to what football is like in those parts of the world. And so I think this club will probably give them that opportunity or would have that little bit more patience with them as opposed to if they're just going to a club that there's no real affiliation and they're just looking at, hey, bringing in some players to try and get a job done. So I think the understanding will be there. I mean, from that perspective, where knowing that these players may take some amount of time to get accustomed to the league and to get their performances up to where it should be. So I think the ownership and the acquisition will help in that regard.
Yeah. The other thing is that I wonder how that affects like players who are like national representative, like Shaquan Davis, as an example, or say like a Sule who has been in the national setup, and say like a Warner Brown who recently moved there. Is this option of playing in a third division in Belgium better than playing, say for example, in the JPL? In terms of national representation, what is the best environment, and also provides great access to the persons who make the decisions in terms of selecting the squad.
So for me, I think it's going to maybe have an effect on them in the initial stages because generally we don't have a very good history of tracking players all around the world in whichever leagues they play. And so it may affect them in the initial. I mean, for example, you have a player that's called Saquon Satchel that's playing over there in Slovenia in the second division, doing really well, but he's almost like out of sight, out of mind. It's not being seen, not a lot is being said about him. Difficult to track him in terms of from I guess the federation perspective. That's my view. So he's kind of a little bit lost.
The next one of those other players as well.
Well, Webster is playing in the first division, playing in the Champions League. His team has now advanced to the third round of the Champions League qualifying. He's actually been playing a lot of minutes, playing as a left back. In the last game, he played 89 minutes. Prior to that, he played all of the games in the previous two qualifying rounds. So I mean, it may affect them a little bit. Even Kenroy Campbell was guilty of that as well in terms of he went to Europe and was not playing in what we'd call a top European division, and he wasn't being seen or hasn't been seen. So I think originally it will have an impact on them, but I think if it is that it works out where they get a chance to go over there, let's say for a season, and they impress and they get to move up, or they get to make a transfer out into a higher league, or if a team qualifies and gains promotion, then it will help their cause. But I think for the players, it's more of an opportunity to establish themselves as a professional footballer and earn a good salary to take care of themselves and their family, because really and truly, your aim as a professional footballer is not to represent national team directly. It is to play in the highest level football that you can in order to maximize your earnings and stuff. And it's always good if you get to play for the national team, but I'm thinking for their own development, Europe is the main aim for most of the players who play in the Jamaica Premier League. So if they get the opportunity to go there, and like I said, I think the more pleasant thing is a project where they are planning to move up into the second division and eventually into the Belgian Pro League. So if they can go there and be a part of that project and see it all the way through, and if they don't make it up, then if they perform well, I'm sure there are other teams that will be looking out for quality players and bring them over into their organization. So I'm saying in the initial stage it might affect them, but I think in the long run, if they go there and put in good performances, I think it will eventually work out.
It will be interesting to see, like, if part of the deal, like, they have some numbers, because at the end of the day, there are other players at the club, like you said, they were in the playoffs, finished third in the playoff, and only one team goes through. So that would suggest that they have a good enough team when you think about their record from last season. So the issue is there a number, or it is does the local club here just send players and say fit these three players in, or look at these three players, and the coach gets that? Are they just given to the coach as players who must be a part, or do they say, okay, we get 5 spots? You understand me? 5 spots for players out of how, it will be interesting to see the dynamics of that. How do you balance?
Well,
yeah.
Well, from my perspective, I mean, Mr. Gould is a businessman. They brought on Charlie McVeigh, who's an experienced football administrator, would have been at Sunderland and Charlton, and you saw the turnaround in Charlton in terms of their progress. So I think, yes, you'd want players to go over there, but I don't think there may be any stipulation to say, these players must play if they're not fitting the bill. I mean, you saw it where Mount Pleasant acquired Brownstown and call it Mount Pleasant Juniors. And I didn't see an influx of players from Mount Pleasant Juniors coming into Mount Pleasant first team. I mean, I think there's probably was 1 or 2 players now that's training with the first team because they would have shown the quality in the Tier 2 competition. Similar to the academy, Mount Pleasant have a lot of players in the academy who arguably could be playing in other Premier League team in the JPL and getting lots of minutes. But I don't see them just pushing them in the team because, they are part of their project. I think they are bringing them in the team when they think that they are good enough to make the transition. So I expect the same to occur from this perspective with this new Belgian club. Yes, you will have players that will go there, but I don't think it's going to be a situation where a player goes there not perfect, because as you said, they already have a good team in which they perform well in their league, and I think they're looking to bring in players now to strengthen up that team. So I don't think they would particularly just be sending players to say, hey, once they come from Mount Pleasant Academy, they must play. I think it's just a matter of they go there, and if they are good enough, they'll get a chance to play, and if not, then they'll probably just come back to Jamaica and play in the JPL.
Yeah, and I understand as well that there is the this may allow them to free up, because you know they have, based on last season's regulation, the amount of players that are from international players. They have more than the slots um stipulated in the regulation by the league. So this could also be an opportunity to probably plug some of them into the system there, so that they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
I mean, I think this will also be help in that regard. But another thing that you have to look at too is more important is playing in the CONCACAF Caribbean Club Championship, which doesn't have any regulations in terms of homegrown players, from the best of my knowledge. So they may have been, and if you look at the players in which they have acquired, I mean, all of these players are from Real Hope, who would have had the experience of playing in the CONCACAF Caribbean Club Championship, and that's the league that Mount Pleasant want to dominate and to do well in. So they would have brought in these players who have that experience in playing in that league. So I don't think the acquisition of those players are mainly for the Jamaica Premier League. I mean, eventually they will come in and play and be a part of the team, but I think the main aim in terms of bringing in those players was for the CONCACAF Caribbean Club Championship, as well as this new project that they have in Belgium.
yeah, because they like Simon just said, they play on the 19th of August in at the National Stadium against Robin Hood. So that, because Arnett Gardens unfortunately did not make it through. So it's just Mount Pleasant and Cavaliers. Because I've also heard that there may be a possibility of Montego Bay. I don't know how that is, but I know for sure that.
No. So the Montego Bay thing, I think, was relating to the Shield, where there was a team from Haiti that was having some issues with getting visas to go to Trinidad. But I think CONCACAF probably intervened and that matter was resolved. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Biggie Dan says Mount Pleasant FA can be like a right to dream North Zealand. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand.
I think he's talking about a team that's in Norway. I
Okay.
think that's a team in Norway, but I'm not sure the point he's making. But I think that there's a team that's in Norway with a similar name.
Yeah. I was having a conversation, and thank you for the super chat. Biggie than 94. I was having a conversation last night with someone involved in the football, and was just discussing that since the pandemic, the amount of money that Mount Pleasant has spent in terms of transfer has really helped a lot of the clubs to stay afloat, right? Mark you, the league probably would have still operated, but I think they're how they have operated in the league, in terms of money spent and transfer, has kept some of the clubs afloat at least for a season. And so I think they play, and I know sometimes how they operate, people believe like this amount of spending can like basically buy out the league. But without this amount of spending and this type of salary being paid, a lot of players would never be able to acquire some of the things that they have. And a lot of the clubs would probably, not operating or have serious struggles. And I know for a fact that there have been occasions when the clubs have quoted them price and for players, and when that is brought to Mr. Peter Gould, he has personally said, and I know this for a fact, no, don't give them that. So if it's 200,000, he will say, no, don't give them that. Give them 600,000. And so he overpays because he wants to help the league, and instead of directly like giving money to a club, he does it through helping them with transfer sometimes. And so I don't know. I don't think that creates a conflict. I think it's a good gesture that has helped with sustaining some of the clubs for different periods of time. And so while people may be saying, well, them go and buy this, them go and buy that and stuff. City did a little bit of that when they came into the Premier. When they had the influx of money, they bought players from almost all the top clubs. They buy Gail Clichy, Chris Sanya from Arsenal. They were buying players from all over. The same way to bolster your team. So I don't have a problem with it. And again, it also has gone beyond Jamaica, where players are having an opportunity. So like a Warner Brown move makes a little bit more sense right now, because there may be an opportunity for him then to possibly not just move to the third tier, but maybe can probably end up in the Super League, I think they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, man is one. I mean, like, I mean, a lot of people would have complained about the whole construct of Mount Pleasant in terms of how they go about transferring players. Many people are not too fond of it, to be honest. But I mean, that's just the way of football now. That's just the way of sports. People are putting in lots of money into sports, hoping to get good returns. And I mean, I think everybody just have to get on board. I mean, the idea and the truth is, I mean, if more of the clubs in the Premier League had the financial resources, I think they would spend more money on buying players.
You think they would pay higher salaries? You think so?
I think so. I think if they had it or had the means to, they would. I think.
Do you believe that Cavaliers have the means to pay higher salaries?
Probably no.
So why? All right.
Probably the means no. I mean, even although the truth is, yeah, they probably would have made a good amount of money this season based on competitions, but I mean, it could be argued that for a number of seasons they weren't making any money as well. So the money that they're making now is almost
they're covering losses.
Correct.
Yeah, let me just respond to Jason Guna. Jason Guna, when I use Manchester City as an example, not that they were helping their rivals when they purchased players. I used as an example because they came into when they had the investors, like I said, they were spending a lot of money and they bought some of the top players from the clubs in the Premier League, which is what Mount Pleasant is doing, right? And people, even Arsenal fans, many other rival fans had an issue with the way Manchester City was going about, and people would say that they were buying the league. And even though people still believe that. So that is the comparison that I was making, not about helping other clubs. I use that because Mount Pleasant, I know that they have overspent on transfer in a bid to help clubs in the Premier League. So yeah, two different points. Earlier Parish Council had a comment. He said that Craig Butler did this before in Belgium. Let me see what he said. He said I think that should be then. Butler never do something like this before. I'm not sure. Was it a major like what you call it, shareholder?
Yeah, so I think Craig would have bought some shares in a Belgian club for real. URSL VC, but
was it a major?
I mean, the details around that whole purchase, don't think it was as public as this. So many persons, including myself.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but I see Person Duckland asking what you're doing.
Who is asking what I'm doing?
Person Duckland. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, continue.
I don't really take Duckland that seriously sometimes. especially on holidays.
Well, it's not a holiday for him, but yeah. So you're saying that you were sure of the details with the Phoenix, or Craig Butler's acquisition of the club. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, it was reported that they brought shares in URSL Vise, but and they had players that went there and played. But I would say, well, this deal hasn't gone through yet. So I'm not gonna say this was more successful or this is more successful, but like I heard that they brought shares in the club. And Craig announced it, and there were players that went there. I think there were about 9 players from Phoenix that went there and played. But as everyone know, that deal didn't materialize as though I guess we all thought it would. And I'm hoping that this one is better. But who knows? I mean, Craig has a good reputation in Belgium, so who knows? Maybe he'll purchase another club or other clubs. I did hear some talks about him going into partnership with a club in Belgium as well again, so we'll see how that works.
Yeah, and listen, regardless of what people thinks about him, the truth is that the Phoenix always rise again. No matter how many times he's knocked down, you have to give him credit. He always seems to lick his wounds and get back up again, and fly indeed like a phoenix. When I think about, for example, his first sojourn into Clarendon, as we kind of segue, he was at Humble Lion and they unceremoniously severed ties. Then he went to Veer. Like, my concern is that if you invest that sort of money in the project, how does it work? Because that money was invested, and then what happened? And now I understand that he has taken Chapelton Maroon. He had the club in Belgium. So with all of these clubs, how do you dump so much money and like basically pull out after a while? Like, won't it take a toll on you financially unless you have, more money than can be held in a bank account, kind of a thing?
Well, I think the first time in Humble Lion it wasn't really any sort of ownership though. I think he was there as a technical director now. During that time, and then did the workout, and he left. But I think in terms of the Veer Phoenix, a partnership, I think that was different, similar to what's happening now with Chapelton. I did reach out to him to find out what was the whole arrangement. He did point out to me that it's the company called, he said there's a company called Phoenix Group that has acquired Chapelton. And he says that his daughter is the CEO and majority shareholder. And he says among that group is a company called Phoenix Sports Management and Phoenix Academy. And he says he's the majority shareholder in Phoenix Sports Management, which handles management of players, transfers, stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna have that greater impact as people think, really, because even though there are 3 teams that is a part of the organization, because they have a team in St. Anne who has now qualified for the St. Anne Major League. They have their Phoenix that's in the Tier 2. But the thing is, those competitions usually don't start at the same time. I think the Premier League is the one that starts first. And then the Tier 2 generally starts in January. I'm not sure if that's the plan still, given that the JFF would have added another 2 teams to that competition. So I'm not sure if they're going to have an earlier start. But if it follows and they start in January, then they'll have all the players at their disposal for Chapelton. In terms of you can transfer the players in and out depending on what your plan is. And then when the January window opens, who you don't deem fit enough to play in the Premier League, then they can always transfer them back. Because I think the St. Anne Major League will start in January around that time as well. So you can always transfer those players out to those clubs. Chapelton did do well in the Premier League last season. They finished 9th. They have a good core amount of players. who would have been with the club since their first time in the Premier League, then to Tier 2, then back to the Premier League. What's interesting though is
The
a number
coaching
of players who ended up at Chapelton last season would
were
have
at
left here.
Yes.
So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen in terms of if those players are going to move on again or they'll stay and be a part of the project. Also, Chapelton would have acquired some players in the January transfer window last season.
And the coach was instrumental, I think, Vassal Reynolds.
Yeah, he was instrumental in bringing some of those players there, especially the players who played in Dakar Cup. And actually, Vassal Reynolds would have employed a coaching staff to start off the preparation because prior to the Phoenix Group acquiring Chapelton, they would have had to register for their club license and put necessary things in place. So they would have had a coaching staff there, and it's going to be interesting to see if those coaches will remain or the Phoenix Group will bring in their coaching staff and players and stuff like that.
All right, I have a call online, but I've been waiting.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up mine.
Yeah, man. All right. Presser, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, big up afternoon. Well, what I want to ask Brian is, does the Beer Phoenix fall under the same umbrella as
Why you have to use umbrella?
Why
you have to use umbrella?
Umbrellas, the Acquisition and Chapelton Maroons.
Why have to use umbrella?
Phoenix.
Use a different word right now. But my umbrella no
They
work.
fall under the same group as
yeah.
All right, so you said there's Phoenix Management, right? And Phoenix Group, right? So what my question is, if it falls under the same group as Phoenix Group, the acquisition of Veer and Chapelton.
I mean, originally last season it was said that it was a Phoenix Group that bought Veer. I don't think there's any issue with them owning two teams, as long as they're not in the same league. And I mean, Veer is not in the Premier League. So I suppose if they get back to the Premier League now, then that's going to be a challenge because, like I said, Mount Pleasant would have had two teams last season, one in the Tier 2 and one in the Premier League. So I suppose if they get to the Premier League now, or Chapelton is relegated to the Tier 2, then that's where there might be a challenge. But as it is now, I don't think there is a challenge, based on what I know of the rules that govern football.
I find it weird. Okay, Brian said it's not an issue in terms of like owning the two teams, right? But I think it's very weird in a sense where, you acquire a team in Beer Phoenix United would have been promoted to the league, right? You would have had so much ambition in terms of trying to keep this team in the league and then, maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, try to win the Jamaica Premier League. And the team gets relegated and it's almost like a jump ship in a sense to acquire a next team in the Jamaica Premier League, right? Which obviously is not something that's illegal, and as Bam said, can be done. There's not an issue. But then again, you face the issue of if Veer's a team that gets promoted to the league, you put yourself in a position where you have two teams in the JPL, which I don't know if there are any rules that governs a two-team ownership in the same league, right? But I think the league, in a sense, needs some tougher rules to govern some of these stuff,
So Presser, you think in England, for example, a group of company can own a team in League 2 and in the Premier League?
If I think that should be possible?
Yeah. The same ownership group, can they own a team in the second division and in the Premier League, in League 2 and in the Premier League?
Well, I guess to an extent they can.
Right. So wouldn't it be the same thing then if Mr. Butler owns two teams?
Yeah.
What would be funny is that if Chapelton end up getting relegated and Veer gets promoted.
What I'm trying to say, I think there should be a time frame as to when you can acquire a team. You know what I'm saying? Like to acquire two teams in less than a year, basically. I think there has to be tougher rules in some sense.
I don't like. I'm
To
trying
just
to.
acquire a team.
Yeah, but if you have the money, you can even acquire more team. That I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't know if Bam can answer, but
Sir,
if a man,
you
if a,
want them to implement a rule to tell a businessman how much he can invest if football is in business, boss?
No. Listen, I'm saying you have a league, you have a pyramid system, right? Acquire one team last year, that team gets relegated, and then in the span of the same year, you acquire a next team in the JPL.
No, Pressa, then him, but Pressa, if he choose, him should be a him should and Pressa, if him choose to, he should be allowed to acquire a next team if Chapitan get relegated to. If him want to, brother. You can't restrict the man, brother. The man is a businessman, bro. Remember tell you how I think people kind of caught up because of the individual and not the principle. So the man is a businessman, him see a business venture, Pressa. All right, case in point. In Jamaica, see? Michael Leachin, he bought, what the group name again? Advantage General Insurance Company. He bought it, and him decides it's not profitable no more, and him sell it. The same year when him sell it, he bought Guardian Insurance Group. What should happen now? Them should tell him, say, no, because you just sell one insurance company, you can't buy a next. No, happen, brother.
You know, I am not against ownership of multiple teams. As we say, I think there's a unique situation with Crystal Palace, right? I think it's Texter, one of those guys. So them have Crystal Palace and them have Leon, right?
Yeah.
Right? I think
Yeah, but what you are saying is you want there to be a time frame as to when him can own two, when a person can own two teams.
it should be to the consequence. Yes, I think there should be something that is implemented, because to just buy something last year or acquire something last year.
No, pressure. Then oh, you know, so, all right. So pressure. Oh, you know, so him not decide say I'm gonna sell it now.
You know. But listen, when I say the man cannot own two teams, you know, I'm saying there should be a time frame of the ownership.
Why, pressure? Why? All right, tell me why you need a time frame.
I think it just come across as, I don't know if unethical is the right word. I don't know if that's the right.
But Pressa, hold on, Pressa, because I feel like this is the first time I hear Jason sound like him agreeing with Pressa. So let me just read his comment. So Jason says, Manning, it shouldn't be possible for that to happen though. If the team in the second division wins the division, they would not be able to get promotion because of the affiliation. No, you can make that rule that says you can't put the two teams in the same division, which is different, that I agree with. But what I don't agree with it is to say you can own the two teams. The rule has to be they can participate, because there's going to be a conflict. For example, which is a Crystal Palace. You can't tell them you can't own the two teams, but they must know that if both teams are going to play in the same competition, you will not allow it and they'd have to give up one. So if they want to run the risk of buying the teams, right? If they want to run the risk of buying the teams in two separate divisions, knowing that they could come together in the one division at some point, or one get promoted and come down, or one gets demoted or relegated, come down, and one gets promoted. Either way, at that point, they cannot be the owners of both. That's the risk that they're running on. Presser. I think that should be the rule. But if they want to buy three, they can buy three.
Look at this. May I read something, right? It says within the English football pyramid, a group cannot own two teams in the same league or have significant influence over the management or administration of more than one team within the Premier League or EFL, English Football League structure, right? This is enshrined in the owners and directors test and other regulations, primarily aimed at upholding the integrity of the competition and preventing conflicts of interest or potential collusion between common-owned clubs. And they must read out some other things, right? Rules prevent individuals or entities from owning a significant stake, 10% or more, or holding the power to influence management or being involved in the management of more than one club in the Premier League or EFL. So I'm saying what we're seeing now is an individual that I am assuming has acquired two teams with more than 10% ownership, with a majority ownership in those two teams. So you have influence in the team in different years. You know what I'm saying? And as this stated, these rules are in place to prevent a conflict of interest. So I'm saying I am not against the two-team ownership to a certain extent. I'm just putting it that I believe that there should be a time frame, or as this say, you can't own more than 10%. Right?
Yeah, but Pressa, the problem we have face now is the idea is that Craig don't own Chapeltown.
Repeat?
The challenge what you are face is that Craig don't own Chapeltown.
Remember, it's a group of companies. If you heard what Bam says, it's just like the academy.
It's the Phoenix group. Him say own Chapeltown. Them say buy Chapeltown, bro.
Yeah.
And it's him daughter own that.
Well, but just like in Europe, you have groups that have different, we have multiple teams across Europe, not specifically in the same league. So just as so this group can have two teams, you have groups that have more than two teams in Europe, but not in the same league or pyramid system.
Yeah, I mean, me get the point that you make still.
Like one man.
But
so what I try to say
I
is
don't
that
think-
have one team, right? You have groups in Europe or across the globe, but them have one team in England, one team in Spain, and maybe one team in France. However, with this group, we're seeing this group with the acquisition of Beer just last year. I know the acquisition of Chapeltown, which is in the same pyramid system of the Jamaica football thing.
no, they're not in the same pyramid system, Pressa. Chapeltown is in the Premier League, bro, and Veer is in Tier 2.
Yeah, bro, we said pyramid system, bro. Just like England, you have the Premier League and then you have the Championship, etc., etc.
What Presser just read, he's saying that what that says is that if you own a Premier League team, you cannot own more than 10% share in any of the other divisions across England.
Yeah, but what me I say is Mannings. Nobody knows how much percentage share Craig as an individual own in a Chapeltown because him said the Phoenix group
Are in Veer.
are in Veer.
Because who owns Veer? Did he own Veer? What?
I remember no money.
No. Presser. I don't know if Craig Butler owned Veer.
Yeah.
Because the cousins who were the owners of Veer still controls a lot of what happened with Veer. So is he a joint owner? You see, these are probably the things. I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe we need to there needs to be some space where these ownership things are like, who is the ownership group for Veer? Who is the ownership group for Waterhouse? For do we know who own these clubs? Is there anywhere you can see the ownership structure of the clubs in Jamaica? You know. As
I read out, it didn't say individual; it said a group. So I know that Everton was acquired by the 77 group.
Yeah, man, I know, man. That's why I'm asking, Bam. Yeah. If do we know who owns the clubs? We know, we would say Peter Gould, and we're not sure if it's a group or it's an individual. But is there anywhere we can see the ownership structure of the clubs in our Premier League? Like, who owns Mobile United? Is Arville Powell still a part of the ownership structure?
But in terms of this money, I think it's a good thing to discuss and just highlight certain things and bring try to have transparency in to a certain extent. Not saying that everything that applies to England or other countries should apply to Jamaica, but I guess in some areas we can implement certain things just to make the game a bit more fair or whatever the case is. But my final point will be the same attention that I would assume that Chapeltown will get moving forward. Hopefully, the team that got relegated last season will also have that same attention, because it's kind of unfair to not saying God put them, a team staying in the league, but to have that much of an ambition publicly for Veer and for them to get relegated. Hopefully, it's a team that we can see back in the Premier League next season, because obviously the people that want to support Veer now and they're not here too, so
all right.
Hopefully the same attention.
Jason want me to ask you about Jim Radcliffe, right? You know him?
Yeah.
He owns Manchester United.
Yeah, and Nice. I think we have one more club, if I'm not mistaken.
And Nice, did they ever play in the same competition in Europe?
I'm not sure, but I know that there was some article like when he just get the club about like some. I know that there was an article about some European football something about two teams playing the same competition and like how them couldn't sell Todibo to United or something like that. There was something I just don't remember what it was. I don't remember if Nice played European football last season. I know that United played not last season, the previous season. I know that United played under Ten Hag when they acquired the club, right? I'm not sure about Nice, but I remember that there were some articles about conflict of interest, etc., etc.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Thanks for your input, as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, that would be very interesting. What would be very interesting is figuring out the ownership structure of some of these clubs. Like who owns the clubs? What is the ownership of the clubs like? So we know that Craig was at oh my God, at Veer, but was he the owner or co-owner? What percentage of it? Yeah. But we have a next call online. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports on this wonderful Emancipation Day in Jamaica.
Emancipation. What you emancipating now? Yeah, man, big up on yourself because every day a holiday at Jamaica. You know, that's why people them have to run away and want to come back down there. Because every day the system set up to broke and make poor people broke and hungry because every day you know have to value. So we don't have no money to spend for every holiday. So people them as a dollar them have to spend it Christmas, New Year, Emancipation, and every other day. So the most developed countries in the world don't have so much holiday. You know, Jamaica have more church, more holiday more than anybody else as far as me. You go for yourself for the people them. Governor always still.
Who told her that Jamaica has more churches than anywhere else in the world?
And that we hear them say first capital. Or first capital anyway.
Okay.
First capital. So make me clear it up because me don't think I say first capital big word them. I don't know them the kind of words you don't say to come back with me. Anyway, my name is man. Real talk. Congratulations to you and Bam. Bam, big up yourself if you're still up on the line.
No, Bam is not here.
Okay.
Bam dropped. Yeah.
Allow him to jump along with them. I don't give you a thing. You know, you have to press up on the phone so long for low pressure make sense still. But press right. Because when we hear you know, we kind of think sequentially the first half. The pressure is not saying this because it's just because of who own the team where I'm after it. But when we look back on it, somebody can own a two teams in another same league at the same time. You can sell one franchise and move on and move the franchise to a next state or another state. But you can own two teams. So if them allow for what that have, don't have part in two teams at the same time. That is wrong, and then they have to stop. It can't work so. But no, this is the conversation I would like to pay more attention in. Because me there the other day, I mean, listen Sports Radio at Jamaica, but me happen to be for YouTube or search for something and see one line. And me I listen. And me just see go over there and go talk. After me just see start me here, man, I like call me just speak, and me just see that the most. When say, me no want to use the wrong word. Me just see that the biggest criminal in Jamaica and all them things. I mean, I say, hold on there. When did all speak become the government or the prime minister or the leaders of the financial world of Jamaica? Which part Mr. Speed that keep anything from anybody or up anybody or can anybody anything? More than Mr. Speed is a man who have interest. He's a very disciplined man as far as me is concerned. The coach sees some key values in this man, seeing a part more into the team, the process of the daily football team, catering success over the past 5 years. And people have a problem with it. Because tell me Mr. Speed from day one. I was the first person who from a leave the away of that. When them fire hole him, he said, take his job, Mr. Because I know you're going to end up. You remember that conversation over here, man?
And I can't recall it. Yeah, it may have happened, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, man. So I need to get picked up to this, you know, no kind of bad mind mistake. I'm a bad mind on the floor. Man, don't take up for Mr. Please. I'm just talking. No. A man called me yesterday and I got asked me some questions. And I tell the man, say, Mr. Speed, I'm a general. Never meet him, never know him first. But based on the way how him carry himself and the way how him not take like how me not take, him a bad man, rate him. And I want him to go far in football. I want him to be the greatest representing out of Jamaica in the future. When we sit down back and look for Mr. Speed, this is a man to try this. I don't want nobody have no problem with my boss. Now my boss make him control him and control make him run things. When him feel we see him at we can give him hell. But you not supposed to give this man the hell before him feel. I know him alone hire the coach, I know him alone do none of them. So me prefer these kind of conversation that we are having. You see this man when me look for your thumbnail this morning, you notice that me go out there, me say, big show this man is man. People are placing their emphasis too much on the Jamaica national team. That's the end product. What about the beginning and the continuation into getting to the end product? Because the people have much time to spend for Mr. Speed and Mr. Ricketts and the people up at JTech. That's why we football are dead. Because we know wait to see we get wait to see Jamaica team go win World Cup and go World Cup for things and all them places. And do nothing from 1998 no do nothing. But as soon as these people come back now and say, we're going to try it. And we're going to bring people like Management them and Simon First and them people them. Some more younger youth with older people them and some in between people them to try to build this thing for a better. I don't have a problem. Management over here don't have, free start every day and I have no problem with him. I think Sunday FFP sell out. I think go over there to go help him sell out. I mean, I think understand the management that they see about the money. I just work in my work because they want to get a good. So somehow if it's fall back, get in line with management and head, uplift and build the youth them in Jamaica. And do it. I'm going to look at work from one of the come down off a YouTube or whatever they are. I'm going to look at work. Allow the people them where I work because me hear all man and run up and I say fire people. And the people when me hear about fire talk about fire the coach them never have a work in them life. Them never work one day. Never have a job in them life, but them over here talk about the people that fire coach and who take fire. You go look at work, somehow no stop work and beg and great. God, have a great son, them and no money to put on it up.
So yeah man, not a problem. But what I want to ask you, just in a couple of minutes, what is the issue you have with Jamaica celebrating Emancipation Day?
After we have no independence, we're independent, we're still dependent on the people.
No man, here's what I'm asking you. What is the issue?
I have a problem.
No, let me just rephrase the question. Go ahead. All right. So what is the issue you have with Jamaica celebrating Emancipation Day?
Tell me the definition of the word emancipation.
Huh?
Emancipation. Tell me what is emancipation or emancipation? Definition.
Isn't emancipation having to do with the abolition of slavery, which is separate from independence? So you what if you have a problem with it, I can go ahead. Go ahead.
So emancipation have nothing to do with the monarchy of England and them things. And the Governor General, we have to see that Jamaica when we don't have nothing against England, we have to get our peace after England. Why we have a them the thing that we have to celebrate. We don't need to celebrate them. We don't need to have a Governor General of Jamaica when we're not in England for now. We have to get England.
No, but I'm not asking you about Governor General.
We don't know where emancipation is stand for, brother. I think it stands to them free themselves from the colonizers and jumping at England and England jumping away Pakistan. That's where we are. That we think it's for. So we still have to celebrate. It's just like how people celebrating Thanksgiving in America. And Thanksgiving was when they take away everything from India and then keep on this piece. So yes, we are going to eat some food.
Okay. So you don't celebrate you don't celebrate no American holiday?
No, I am Jamaican.
And you don't celebrate no Jamaican holiday?
Maybe I'm Jamaican to go out there. Just to be out there because I don't want to be an old grouch locked up in the house where everybody out there. Some people see me out here, but me not believe I'm buying into these kind of things.
Okay. All right. Big up
Yeah,
yourself. Eh?
my father, I think them America celebrate them Thanksgiving and them days and them 4th of July and them things and them. So I'm gonna go eat some food and them things, but me nah set up the table for none of them there. And anything them there, I'm gonna follow fashion and getting other people things.
All right then. All right. Bless up yourself. You know.
So,
Stop.
Mr.
Yeah.
My mother from another mother, big up yourself, son. Stop your understanding. The America too long the pan type over here. Look at work.
All right.
Man, it's fun.
All right. Big. All right. Have a blessed day, sir. All right. Gunners, boss. That's Gunners. That's Gunners, boss. He says that he and Presser, Presser, Odelo, how you get management and Presser? Presser says that he think there should be a time frame. Bam and I were talking about the acquisition and say nothing is wrong with it. How do you get me being a hypocrite? Like, call in Odell and explain to me, because Bam and I said that nothing is wrong. All I was asking is whether or not he actually owned the club and that we need to probably see the ownership structure of the clubs across Jamaica. How you get me to be a hypocrite in saying that? I don't understand. Please call in and explain to me. But we have Simon Preston who has joined us. Welcome, Simon. Good afternoon. And we have Balakar, online as well. So Balakar, just give me a sec. Let me hear from
Yeah, man.
yeah. Simon, greet the people and then we will.
Good afternoon. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thanks very much for having me on. I hope it's been a, relaxing day for you and everything, and you're able to recharge the batteries and look ahead to what lies ahead in the month and the months ahead.
Awesome, yeah, man. Definitely. I want to get back after Balakar talking to you about like the ownership structure in England, if we can see that, and if that would be something good to have in Jamaica as we discuss these matters. But we have Balakar online. Balakar, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. How you doing? Balakar. You mute yourself, Balakar.
Oh yeah. I mean, I say big up everybody. Big up the man in panel and big up everybody in the comment. When we call to really talk about that, Mount Pleasant new venture. You understand me? Me like the move.
Yeah.
And hopefully some of the ball of them from Mount Pleasant make the move. Not just make the move, but make the transition and play some good football and try to elevate the club going up in the second division or even the first division. You understand?
Yeah.
And yesterday we did out there, I remember say we have some youths where we carry go out of the Mount Pleasant Academy and we there watch the senior team play against Waterhouse. So with the amount of baller when we see at Mount Pleasant, we know say Mount Pleasant only they buy purchase so much baller if you never planted them. You understand? So more likely look like some of them are gonna go overseas and some of them are gonna stay in the league. So when the call to talk say like when we see yesterday, but they are listening program and we get to find out all of the situation why probably so much players out there. You understand?
But how the game went yesterday? Talk to get the people who a little overview of the game because it was in the evening.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant win 1-0. And to all the peoples in the comment and in Jamaica talking about the academy players are not making the transition. It was an academy baller who scored a scorcher against Waterhouse. And he also start in that midfield with Thomas. So, he looked like he's a youth. We will see him in the Premier League this year. You understand? He have a long way going. I have two others where my team play against in the tier 2
them are going to do good in the Premier League also. Good youngsters, you understand? So Mount Pleasant actually are do good with some of the youths them. Some of the youths them when they make the transition like even if I'm not go a different club or because of them behavior. Because as let me say man is one, I go out there and see some of them have good talent. You understand? But you know when time I leave the academy and go home and go back in the ghetto or go back in them community, you know them wicked and them do the wrong things. But Mount Pleasant to do the right thing. Even if 5 or 6 players no play in the Premier League, we know 15 of them spread all over the JPL Premier League. You understand, man, is man, the under 17 program where them just win the elite. Any one of those under 17 ball are going at any Premier League team in Jamaica right now. Otherwise, from Mount Pleasant and then see them a play, them probably start or make the roster.
Yeah.
Mount Pleasant do a good job. And coaching staff and everybody. I love how everybody live out there. If you cut the grass, nobody not downgrade you. It's like you and the coach up on the same level. So me go out there go learn that. Even if it's a janitor out there, they don't look down for nobody. They have everybody as one. You understand? So people from the outside they always say, boy, Mount Pleasant this, Mount Pleasant that. Me go out there go see it itself. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah, man. And even me, when me go out there with the younger youth, them and you know, Errol Stevens, so as a him coach the youths them.
Yeah.
I'm out there and more while, you know, me chip in and say, all right, this player not supposed to do that. Errol nah stop me and say, yo, you can't do that, you know. Errol call me and put me on one on the sideline and say, all right, talk to them players a year so and you know Errol do that, you know, he's like you know, you're beside one big star, you just, you know, in the street, you like say, yo, he know you a long time. So, big up Errol too. You see me? You never yet say, yo, youth, you can't come out here, so. Call me and say, yo, come in, man. You see me, man? So,
definitely. Really good person.
Yeah, man. So, people from the outside looking in and say, the Mount Pleasant system is all about buying and they are not developing the youth them live. I tell you, they do a lot for Senton and then do a lot for Jamaica football. You understand? Because these young youth will really care to Senton. What if Mount Pleasant never out there, so? These young youth will be just running up and down playing football, not playing system football and just shifting to man and piece of them can play football. You understand, man?
Yes. Yeah.
So Mount Pleasant is doing a good thing. I just really Mount Pleasant the call to talk about. Now I mention nothing else about the next side over there, so because no one stay up on the right track. You know, the coaching the coaching where now, so certain things we have to just leave one side. You understand? The only time you hear me come make up noise is when you come to Shamarnical. So
How did he look last night?
Huh?
How did he look last night?
Shamarnical, so
yeah,
he look bad, man.
Did he play, he didn't play 10 o'clock last night?
Yeah, him team in the thing, they don't play bad. Them actually do some good things, but as we say, it take time, you understand? And
did they win the game?
We watch it all the part time I watch. Me never get to watch all live because the match them come too late.
So the part that you watch, what was the score?
When we did watch it, me did see 0-0. Yeah. But man is man. Yeah, man.
No, No, I'm not talking about the games. I'm talking about this game. Like how much you watch like the first 10 minutes or less?
Yeah, man, as I said, the game start early. The
No,
game
man.
start too late.
No, the game start 10 o'clock.
Yeah, the game must start too late.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know why. You understand? They can start the game earlier.
Wasn't it in California?
Remember,
And
there are time zones behind Jamaica.
And they are way behind us in terms of time.
Oh.
We're 2 hours behind Jamaica.
Yeah.
Oh, and man, we need to the striker there, Chevante Stewart.
Yeah.
He actually yesterday making debut, right?
Yesterday?
Yesterday or day before yesterday?
Day before yesterday. No, didn't he make his
score
debut?
You know, playing at the
debut.
The team where I play for now. The team where I play for now, they not play the the Conference League playoff thing.
But didn't he play a game where he did play before that? From like not even last week, probably before last week he played. He came on as a substitute.
And you see them a show him in score a goal, and the baller from Cavaliers they used to play Webster. Actually had the good for himself also. You know me always calling and big up the locals.
Yeah, but you have to watch them do a baller car. I don't feel like you watch them.
No, but man is man.
Oh no, you're not watch them. No,
me can't see if Webster game them, because when I type in
yeah, man. Webster quality the thing their qualification that is on you can watch it, man. That's easy to
find. You see when I type in the soccer 808, when a lot of people find it, black here, so that's why I tell you.
That is the only thing that I can use to watch the game.
Yeah, that's the only thing we use to watch it, because I just the internet alone. Really.
No, man, there are other things they can use to watch the game.
I just that alone we use watch most of the game then.
Okay, that's what you mean, Balaka. But bless up yourself, how the coaching certification going?
They see like so them say we have to I think the one year the deal is first before them. So next year probably March, February.
Oh, you will do your C.
There, so them say them will come back to try the C.
All right then. Big up yourself, Balakar. Bless up, Always good hearing from you, man. Yeah, man. Keep on growing and improving yourself. All right?
Yeah, man. No. As I say, just how do you right thing.
Yeah, man. All right then, Balakar. Cool.
Yeah.
Simon, welcome to the show. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Most things under control, It's amazing how time goes by so quickly. We're in August now. So we are 39 days away from the next home game, but as we know, the time is just going by so quickly. But lots of football ahead, so it's good, and we'll have Jamaican representation in club competition coming up quite shortly, which is good. Disappointed that it's not 3 teams again, as it's the first time in 3 years we're not going to have 3 Jamaican clubs in the Caribbean Cup, but still, the nation is behind Cavalier and Mount Pleasant in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. And hopefully we'll have the 2 of them get to the CONCACAF Champions Cup as well, have that representation as well regionally, alongside the best of the best in North America and Central America. So that is my hope. But yes, it's quite overcast conditions in Kingston, Jamaica, and persons are just, holding their breath as well and waiting for Sunday to find out when is general election day. That's the talk on the lips of persons in the corporate area.
Okay. All right. Let me just jump to this. The U15 team, they play the first game tomorrow.
No, actually they get the ball rolling on Monday in the CFU under 15 championship.
Oh, but the commission starts tomorrow, but they play on Monday.
You're right, they play on Monday. So Jamaica is actually in a group which has Curacao, Aruba, and Belize. So you top that group, you advance to the semi-finals of the competition. But yes, League A action starts tomorrow, and Monday League B actions where Jamaica gets the ball rolling. So, yep, it's gonna be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is the rest day, and Friday the semi-final, and Saturday the final of the competition. So back-to-back games. And as we know, when it comes to under 15, the matches are 70 minutes, so 35 minutes per half when it comes to this particular age group of the competition. As you made mention on the show a couple of nights ago at Kerry, 2 years ago, we went to the semi-finals. We eventually finished fourth. So, yeah, it'll be great to be able to go to the final this time around and be able to continue that progression.
Yeah. A lot of persons have not yet seen the squad for this particular tournament. I know I have something here. I should be able to, I think, find it somewhere.
Well, earlier today, this morning, it was shared in the Jamaica Football Federation Instagram and WhatsApp handles. So the squad is
right
out. It's it takes time to be able to finalize and it's a CONCACAF.
Yeah.
And all of those aspects.
Yeah, you want to give the people a little bit of detail, like because I know some may have remembered some of these players from the last tournament that we played in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, no problem, because you do have the nucleus of the team that was at the CFU Under-14 Championship last year in Trinidad and Tobago. So quite a couple of familiar faces that persons were excited about. And, one in particular persons were very, very, excited to see last year was the commentators called him DJ Brown, but it's Kelvin Brown, the very tall 14-year-old, now 15-year-old forward. Kelvin Brown, bags of pace, energy, and Corlando Morris. So two individuals or persons are excited to see, and those are in terms of the forwards. Samuel Taylor, Tevin Savage, Kelvin Brown, Corlando Morris. Those are the forward lines for Jamaica. I see Corus in the comments. I think he's mixing up what I was discussing. I guess what he's asking is if the matches are going to be on CFU's YouTube channel. No, it's not going to be on CFU's YouTube channel. CFU's YouTube channel is only showing the CFU Club Shield, so they're not showing the CONCACAF Under-15 Championship. So in terms of the makeup of the squad, as mentioned, the core was in Tobago.
Let's talk about the goalkeepers first. I think I'm going to see if I can split up the names.
Sure,
that's Jaheim Gray and Marco-Dean Spence. Marco-Dean Spence is I think he's Mount Pleasant, a youngster from Mount Pleasant.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
He was there at the last tournament as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, two experienced veterans, and now a step up, and it's
veterans. Sure, you want to call them veterans
at this age group level. In this aspect, the tournament is in Aruba, which means that they're going to be playing on AstroTurf, so it's going to be different compared to grass. But you could say one of the benefits with AstroTurf is that for players who are skillful, that have that trickier skill, it's better for them because you have closer touches of the football, and we have players that have those characteristics, which is why we should succeed within this competition. You have up the defenders now. Aldino Walters, Malik Wellington, Kenrick Brown, Mario
Nelson.
Yeah, that's right. And Ramesh Sims. So that makes up the defenders that are part of this mix. Ramesh Sims, the same Ramesh Sims of Wilma's boys.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, good addition for him being involved in the mix. Someone that has been, spoken about, and even the media has covered him from he was even in prep school as well, from Alberga and Henriquez Cup. So, a quality addition to the squad. We can look at the midfielders now. Kevon Holloway, Steve Hewitt, Javier Henry, Kyle Hussey, Deshaun Smith.
Kyle Hussey was the captain.
Kyle Hussey was the captain. That is correct. Yes. Deshaun Smith and Davian Clark. So when you look at
Clark also had a good tournament in Trinidad last time around as well. He's one of the standout players.
Yeah. Yes, one of the standout players within the competition. The forwards, Samuel Taylor, Tevin Savage, Kelvin Brown, or as people say, Kelvin DJ Brown, and Corlando Morris. So in terms of the makeup of the squad, there's balance, in all departments: size, strength, speed, and we now await for Monday to.
Kelvin Brown of Kingston College, right?
Yes, Kingston College, 6'1", was one of the standouts in CFU last year. Persons remember his size, his strength, his pace that he carried in Trinidad and Tobago last year. Yes, same Kingston College, and of course his ally in attack, Corlando Morris, will certainly be a pivotal role in that aspect of things. What was interesting, Mannings, is that last year, remember, there was not a quota, but there was like a minimum in terms of minutes that each player could play at the CFU under 14. It's not like that at CONCACAF under 15, so it's not like, oh, Manningsman has to play 15 minutes, Simon has to get 10 minutes. So, you could say that, at the end of the day, whoever performs well in training, they'll get the opportunity to play on match day. It was just different at CFU under 14, where every player had to take the field at some point.
There's a little player. I think he was from Glenmuir. I think he was the smallest player on the squad in Trinidad. He came on as a substitute on several of the games. I keep forgetting his name. He's a good one as well. But they did have some very good defenders. The team will look well, so let's hope and see. And so if you're out there, Dre, anyway, you can call in and let us know the players that you know. I know you're probably talking about Kelvin Brown, because I think he also is a part of the Harborview youth setup as well. Yeah. But on the next note, Simon, what I want to ask you is, in England, what is the ownership structure like in terms of owning or being a major shareholder in a club in the different tiers of the English setup? Does that happen in England? Is it allowed? I know Presser read a document earlier that would give the impression like that is not something that is allowed there, so I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, if a team is in another division or in another country, then there's absolutely no issue with that whatsoever. I mean, I know you know Stan Kroenke very well, and his additions that he has of teams, franchises that are in North America, Colorado Rapids, LA Gladiators, etc., etc. Even his wife is part of the royalty group of Walmart as well. So entrepreneurs have their hats in many different rings, and that is absolutely no problem at all. So in relation to what England is, you're not going to find that Jim Radcliffe has ownership shares in Man United and Man City, or Man United and Fulham. That's not something that you'll see take place. In other divisions, that is something that you could see a reality. I go back to Gary Neville when he just started at Salford City. He had a few shares in Man United, but over time, when Salford City became professional, meaning they moved from non-league to the Football League, meaning getting into League Two, Gary Neville's shares in Man United were sold. So the only shares that Gary Neville has now in football would be solely with Salford City and none with Manchester United at all. It was only at the point where Salford City were promoted to League Two where those shares were moved, and it would be done the same as well for Ryan Giggs, Nicky Butt. Even with David Beckham now, he no longer has shares in Salford. It's strictly with Miami. So to answer your question, in the same division, that's not something that you're going to see. But if it is Premier League and non-league, then that is something that can take place. Or if it is a situation where it is Premier League and League Two, possibly as well. So that is what I would say where that is concerned. I know you asked about what about my thoughts about something like that in Jamaica. We already know in Jamaica where we have a small market, and if you look everywhere around us, persons have their hats in different rings. We're a small market, we're a small economy. So it's only natural that you do have persons have their hats in different industries, and I see no issue with that at all. We all have obligations, responsibilities. Things in Jamaica are not cheap, so we have to do what we have to do to make ends meet and to be able to provide. So I have no issue with that in a Jamaican standpoint. It'd just be interesting what the regulations are, and then we take it from there. So we'll see how things are in a Jamaican standpoint a decade from now, if something like that can take place. But personally, I don't have an issue with that, bearing in mind what the market is like within Jamaica. If we even go to even some of the smaller Caribbean islands, you have some person that are, like, for example, you go to Suriname, the owner of one of the clubs was also their centre forward, and he was also the vice president of the country. So, you have situations like that because
I don't know if we can use that don't know if that is because that one was what almost it was over 50. He was really like a center forward, Simon. Come on, we can't use that. I'm not going to allow you to use that one, Simon. That can be very misleading. We're making it sound like this was an active player in the club going to training and all of that kind of a thing. He just wanted a one run out.
That is true.
Yes.
That is true.
Yeah.
But these are aspects of things that do happen, and I know persons in the diaspora say about certain aspects of things. But Jamaica is a entity, as an island, where we have to do multiple things to be able to make ends meet.
All right. Somebody's asking. I don't know. This is Nitro 69. I don't know where this is from. He says, "Man is before he leaves. Ask your guest why he thinks Gale's liquid cricket records are greater than Bowles." What is liquid cricket?
I don't know what is liquid cricket, but maybe he's talking about a live I did last night where I made mention that Chris Gale has more world records than Usain Bolt. So it was interpreted that Usain Bolt's contribution to Jamaica is less than Chris Gale. That is how it was interpreted. The point I was making is that Chris Gale has more world records than Usain Bolt.
How many world records? Bolt has, how many world records can Bolt have? That's the first question we have to answer. Can Bolt has more than 2 individual world records?
Could he have more than 2 individual records? In theory, he could if he was to take up a long jump or if he was to take up a triple jump. In theory, he could. Yeah.
Right. So the discipline of track and field for a sprinter like Bolt only allows him to have maximum individual 2 world records because he does 2 events, the 100 meters and the 200 meters. No. Chris.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Chris Gale in the game of cricket has many disciplines within the game. For example, catching. For example, taking wickets. For example, 6s hit, 4s hit. High scores attained in T20, one day.
Fastest
right. So he has the opportunity to have more records. So I don't know if that is a fair comparison because Usain Bolt, in terms of individual records, can only have a 100 meters and a 200 meters because that's the only one that he does. Unless you look at when he used to do the 400 in his junior years, you could say he probably have some record in it. But when we talk about world record, it's So I don't know how the discussion came up, but I want to compare the cricket with like track and field. Unless you're gonna count how many times Usain Bolt has broken like 10 seconds and 20 seconds and stuff like that.
Yeah, because persons were saying, how do you quantify 2 World Cups and an ICC Champions Trophy win to 8 gold medals? How do you quantify what is more weight compared to other? Chris Gale has won 2 World Cups and a Champions Trophy. Bolt 8 gold medals. But yeah, I get the point you're making. I do understand what you're saying in terms of the different sporting disciplines and the opportunities that are given. So because somebody doesn't get an opportunity, it's not fair. So I can accept.
Rudy's saying that he could have won indoor records as well. All right, he could have he could have an indoor 100 meter world record and an indoor 60 meter world record if he did a lot of races and do that. So all of those things are possible. That's right. But what is your take on the move by Mount Pleasant to acquire the club in
Personally, Personally, I'm happy about it because, of course, you're creating and opening opportunities. You're creating an avenue and relationship with Europe, and specifically a market where opportunities are given to players at a young age, and a great platform for developing football players. So from that standpoint, brilliant. In relation to the players that will perhaps make that transition from Mount Pleasant to the Belgian club, the only thing or the only limitation you would say is that Mount Pleasant will be missing a couple of senior players by the time they get the ball rolling for the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. But Mount Pleasant still has ammunition, depth, strength, and quality to be able to get the job done and compete for the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup this year. But I'm just saying whoever leaves the football club will certainly be a big loss, because these are individuals that would have been part of the club being part of title runs and going deep into other competitions. But I'm pleased with the acquisition, and I do think that it is a bright future moving forward. I do think long term that the mountain, or the top of the mountain for Mount Pleasant, would have to be to win the CONCACAF Champions Cup, not the Caribbean Cup, but the CONCACAF Champions Cup. That should be their ambition long term when you are making moves of this nature and continuously improving your squad. Long term, you should strive to be the first Jamaican club to win a CONCACAF Champions Cup. That's me, how I personally feel about it. So that's how I feel, and I'm wishing them and Cavalier all the very best in the upcoming regional assignment.
Yeah, because the last time around we had Humble Lion in this as well, right? We had Humble Lion and who again? Was it 4 teams? Or was it 3? Arnett was in it too. We had Arnett, Humble Lions, Cavaliers, and Mount Pleasant.
No, last year's Caribbean Cup was Mount Pleasant. It was Cavalier, was Arnett. Three Jamaican clubs.
Okay, right.
This is the first time in 3 years that we're not having 3 Jamaican clubs. We're only going to have 2 because, as you know, Arnett did not top their group in the CFU Club Shield. Yes, the tournament format changed and everything like that, quite cutthroat. We just needed to. Arnett should have won their 2 games and would have stood a greater chance. And of course, you're in a group where you're not in control of what the club from Martinique is doing, and so on and so forth. So it is what it is, and it's just a reminder as well for clubs to, when they are in regional competition, to give everything, because you never know what can transpire or what the future brings. So now we look forward to the 19th of August now. Robin Hood against Mount Pleasant. That's going to be a great game. And over in DR, Cavalier is going to face Cibao. So it's a repeat of the final from last year. So 2 great games to open the competition.
I think Bobby said Humble Lion, don't beholden. I thought it was don't beholden. Sorry, boss, not Humble Lion, but they were in it the year before, I believe. But no, like, let me just go back to your thing. Like, listen, I don't think even if Christopher Gale goes and people go and watch him run,
if Bolt won our Gale run.
People that still watch Usain Bolt are probably even more people if he decides to do an event right now. Usain Bolt is very, very popular. I think Usain Bolt in like North America and Europe is way more popular than Christopher Gale. And in places in Asia like Japan and South Korea and China and those places. So if you're talking about Chris Gale, I think his popularity is probably in like India, Pakistan, those places. A big popularity, and in the Americas as well, but not to the level of Bolt. I also believe that, like, because there are so many ways, you could score a certain amount and run out of an over, and that becomes a record in cricket. You could take 4 catches in the slips, that becomes a thing. He could take 5 wickets in an over. That becomes, he could be run out 6 times in a row, and that becomes a world record. He could be out to hitting his stumps 3 times in a. So cricket gives you all of these variables that allows you to have all type of records. Here's the thing though, with Usain Bolt's records, it's almost like the amount of people who do track and field that has never done it. Like, you almost feel like Chris Gale, somebody could beat his 6 hitting record or his T20 fastest 50 record or fastest 100 record. When you think about Usain Bolt, like 100 meters, you can't find, like, you're not probably going to find like 10 people in our lifetime going past that. But in the T20 World Cup, you could find 10 people breaking Chris Gale's record. That's the thing with Bolt's record and Chris Gale's record. That kind of also helps to distinguish them. I think, you know, who stopped Bolt from doing? Oh my, no, Mr. Robert Williams. Tell me this is not Robert Williams from RFM saying this. tell me this is not Robert Williams. Who you mean who stop him? Track and field don't allow you to do 800, 400, 110, 200, 100 in your lifetime. Come on, Robert. No, sir. This is not. Somebody must be hacking Robert Williams' phone. This is not the real Robert Williams.
No, but he'll probably tell you that Mo Farah did 5,000, 10,000, 1,500, you know? So different disciplines is different.
I don't believe it is him. He would have to call and talk. I don't believe that somebody hacking him phone. He would have to call in and talk. That is not Robert Williams just put up that right here. No, sir. That type of reason is not from him. He must have called when me hear him voice. I said this. But I don't think they are comparable.
I think, yeah, that 100 meter, that probably will stay with us until your grandpa. Gale's 175, maybe. The fastest 100 off 30 balls, yeah, that can go. For sure. For sure.
You don't think nobody can pass 175?
It is possible to do it. It is possible to do it. The question is who?
Okay.
Is it possible to be broken? Yes, it can be.
You see, tell me an athlete you see out there that can pass both 200-meter records right now.
2 bills.
Somebody, give me a name that you see in track and field that you believe that can beat the record, the 200 meters record for Usain Bolt. Give me a name.
I get it from that angle because I could say, oh, Glenn Maxwell can make over 175. So I get it from that angle.
Yeah, it's more achievable. Yeah. You try and find an athlete right now who is the top 200 meter. Yeah.
No, Nitro. Gale was not against lollipop bowlers. He was against some of the fastest bowlers we've ever seen.
Let me say that again.
Glenn McGrath.
Who can break Usain Bolt 200-meter record? Go on. The Australian. No, boss. This Australian guy he's not medaling. Listen. 200 meters record, people. Do you understand what the 200 meters record is? Come on, man. We can't believe in it. Who has gone the closest? Let me ask, maybe I should ask this question. Who has gone the closest to the 200-meter record? And what was it?
Johan Blake, 1926.
All right. And Bolt is at 1919.
Right.
All right. And the closest to it is 1926. But you know how much that 700 of a second is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Noah Lyles did 1931. But yeah, I don't see it. For 2 bills, no.
Yeah. So I think like Bolt's record in the 200 meters. There you go. And track and field people will tell you, Kishian can break with 200 meter record. Kishian not even running 200 meter unseen. You see Kishian running 200 meter? Huh?
No, I think he's saying the 100. You think Kishian can break the 100? He thinks. Unseen is saying the 100 he think can go.
Oh, he believes that Kishian can break the 100 meters?
Yeah, that's what Unseen is saying, that he can break the 100 record.
All right. Brethren, Kishian is in a time when you see the mental fortitude that it will need is what he needs to find. All right, because a lot of us think like it is just speed alone. When you're in that blocks with Noah, Tobago, it's a different thing. You have to be able to pass that mental barrier. Asafa Powell could not do it. And at his best, is Kishian better than Asafa? At their best, who is better? Kishian or Asafa? People, big question that. At their absolute best, who is better? Kishian or Asafa Powell? All right. Douglas says Asafa. And Asafa didn't come near it. At his best, Asafa Powell didn't get near Usain Bolt's time.
So that means that Lara's 400 is going to stay with us forever then. Brian Lara's 400 in the test match. Wow.
He has the ability. All right, we will see. Unseen, we get unseen. Unseen, we mean that I'm money. So Kishian not running for money, Unseen. What is wrong with Unseen? Kishian not running for money, Unseen. You think Kishian running for free? What is wrong with Unseen, man?
What he's saying is that Kishian has won an individual medal, whereas Asafa hasn't at the Olympic Games. So trophies, medals does not define who is more successful than another athlete or team. Is it the trophies and medals that we use to define as the success?
Yeah.
As a medal.
Yeah. Wasn't the captain for South Africa decided not to break because of respect Brian Lara never broke Brian Lara record. Did he do that? Like he said, like the record, he believe the record should stay. Lara record can be broken easily. Not no big deal. It's just that teams don't want to bat so long. I believe if Australia batted first against this, against certain teams, not this West Indies bowling attack, but if they bat against certain teams in their kind of condition, there are batsmen in Australia that can break that record. Shut down what kind of point? Unseen. All the athletes run for money. Don't you see some of them just gone to Turkey? What do you think they're going for? You think the athletes running for free? So you mean that Asafa run for money? Every athlete run for money. I don't understand. Unseen. Somebody tell me one of the people hacking on the phone, call Unseen, let me hear your voice. Because it seems like somebody hacking your phone. That's what I'm saying. Depending on who, Australia, if Australia is playing against Zimbabwe in Australia, they have batsmen that by the second day, they could make 400 runs. Individual batsmen. Or at least one of them. That's what I'm saying. I have not seen anyone. Thank you so much, Signals Media. A lot of people, like even Test cricket, don't allow you certain things again.
Marlon, what do you mean who Lara set his record against? Matthew Hayden had 380 and Lara broke it.
No, what he's saying is that which team? Because what he's saying that maybe the quality of the opponent that
England. England.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that that's even harder to do because he was playing against a quality opponent.
Okay.
So I'm saying that Shubman Gill or Harry Brook will break Brian Lara record. All right. The real Unseen is back, people. Then it's call in and talk to us. Yeah. Yeah, but people, all right, big up yourself, Duklan, because them wanna think we don't know cricket, Demo talk to it was one of the smallest boundaries in Antigua. The boundaries were the smallest, and the wicket was flat. All right, this was not in England. This was in Antigua, boss, and a flat, very small pitch, playing surface. If you could play a defensive shot and it easily run for 4. Anything past the bowler, mid on and mid off, straight a boundary. It touch it. Once it pass, the bowler run up, it reaching the boundary. But as I understand, people at his best. I respect Kishian coming up doing well, but at his best, I don't think Kishian is better than Asafa Powell. So when you tell me that Asafa was only running for money, every athlete that represents Jamaica is doing it for money, boss. They ain't doing it for free. So what is the point? That is all I'm saying. When Asafa Paul and these guys were running, the government wasn't giving them the money. It's after Asaf, is it Usain Bolt and Asaf and the Shelly that has allowed the government and stuff to begin to give them money? Let me see if this is. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Good afternoon.
Man is man.
Oh, this is.
I don't understand.
This is unseen.
This is the real unseen.
Okay, the real unseen.
I'm back.
Yes.
Yeah. So listen, I don't understand. Kishian, call it is a rookie to these aspect of the track and field, right? Remember last season was.
Hold on. How old is Kishian?
It's not about age.
No.
It's about weight.
Hey. No.
Man is man. You listen to what Bolt said about Kishian and the race?
Sir, listen to me.
You listen to what Bolt said.
What that have to do with what me I say? How old is Kishian?
Go ahead.
How old is Kishian?
I don't know his age.
24.
He's 24.
Against us 24, yeah.
All right. How long you think he has left?
A decade or less.
Or more, man. He can go up to, well, I think at his best, 5 more years.
5 more years. Okay. And you believe within that 5 years he can beat Usain Bolt record?
I believe in the next 2 years, if him continue sharpening up himself and getting the confidence and getting the race in, him can break it. The man there 10.75 now, you know. Last year,
but,
we would say it was his rookie year, his breakthrough year.
What is
9.75, sorry.
Hold on. What is the 100 meter record? Unseen.
9.5, yeah.
All right. And where is the Kishian is at?
9.75.
9.75.
Huh?
9.75. 9.75.
All right. So you know how far that is from 9.5?
Almost 200 of a second, 2/10 of a second.
Not far, man. Not far. Remember, as I say, you're not getting the point, you know. You're not getting the point, man.
Right.
You're going on a different line. You're not listening to what I say.
Go ahead. All right.
I am saying,
yeah.
Even if we go back and look at Usain Bolt coming up, his rookie years, him get Wally beaten and them thing there. But when him find himself and find him speed and put the speed together, do you listen to Kishian when Kishian talk about what he's trying to do, you know, his newfound speed and all these things? Do you listen? I don't think so.
You finish make a point? When I say that Bolt in his rookie year, you talk when Bolt enter this thing as a teenager and I put him chain in him out and I go to race and a fast start and that you talk about and then have him injury? That you talk about?
Yeah, man. When you just go on the big man speed.
Which Wally beat do Usain Bolt get?
Usain Bolt get Wally beaten from Wally Spear and Tyson again in Monday.
Which Wally beaten in which major event?
Major event? We are talking about man is man.
Which major event Usain Bolt get Wally beaten in? Tell me now, man. Tell me.
The 07 World Championships in Osaka. Tyson Gay got gold.
Which Wally event?
07 World Champs in Osaka. Bull got silver in 2 bills and the silver in the 4x1. Tyson Gay got by him twice that year and 2 more times on the circuit.
Oh my.
And this we are talking about world. So the one time Tyson Gay beat him, one time in any major global event, boss. Once.
But man is man. You still not get the point, you know. You try to use words and all them something. The point of me I try to bring across is Kishian Thompson. First year, you expect him to say, all right, he's going to be dominant like that and run a fast time. He might learn the thing. And that's what Bolt said about him, right? This time around, you expect Kishian now to win now and then start, you know, increasing speed and I get better.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Unseen. Yes.
But you're making it look like he can't break the man record like it's impossible.
Unseen. You know when Usain Bolt was getting the beating, and you know what Usain Bolt was running, boss?
What was he running?
9.69.
So, what's the point?
You know, that's 10.7. That is the point.
How far is 9.69 from 9.75?
What I'm trying to tell you is at the same stages, Usain Bolt was ahead of Kishian, boss.
Okay. 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 Okay.
What
You just not believe.
what I am hearing?
You just not believe them can break it. It's okay.
Bolt. You know what age Bolt did? His 958. You know how old Bolt was when he ran 958? 22.
Tell me now.
22 years old, boss.
22. All right. So age of something to do with it then.
So, and how many times did Bolt win Olympic gold? Like back to back. How many consecutive? And how many consecutive world championship gold? You think Kishin is going to do that?
No, man, it's just the world record he was talking about, not the back-to-back champions. It was the world record alone, unseen, said in the comments.
Okay.
Man is man actually the goalpost.
No, man, what kind of goalpost? A track and field you talk about how you get goalposts in track and field?
You move from the record, now you're gone a championship, now you're gone.
Oh, that's a talk about. But the point, all right, boss.
Okay.
But
I see you
no. Man. Anyways, I see some the other person them hacking them phone I try call Mr. Williams, but make sure the right one. Big up yourself and see.
All right.
Yeah. All right. It is on Kishian's side. I don't think so. No. I think you notice Tobago's time when running them young. I think the older you get is the harder some of those times become. Because I think some of these people won't get hacking today, you know. Thank you, Tafari. Bolt run 200 and 100. And he have the record in the 200. I did the 100. 19.19.
Greetings, manager.
Great. Is this Robert Williams? He's not the same person with the type of thing then, I think. Because I feel like they're marking on your phone.
The same one, man. The point is.
Yeah, right the point.
How do we get to be comparing Chris Gayle world record and Usain Bolt? Where is that comparison? Where can that be legitimate? There are so many nuances with Chris Gayle's world record as compared to Usain Bolt. Chris Gayle can make 20 world records. So the point I was trying to make is who stopped Usain Bolt from running 5-6 different events? He could choose to run all of them, but he would run them at the top level, you know. But that is not practical. You understand? So Usain Bolt would be able to break, let us say, maximum 4 world records. Chris Gayle could do that, to do 10 world records in one match. So we get to comparing them, and we'll be speaking about them in the same conversation.
Okay, so I see you were being sarcastic. Okay, no, I get your point. Simon, I'll have to answer that because I don't know how Simon get to a discussion about that. Simon, explain to her, how did they come to that conclusion to be comparing? What happened, Simon? Talk to the people.
No, I had a live yesterday, and persons in the comments were talking about Jamaican record holders, and that's how the topic came up, as a fact that Bolt has less world records than Chris Gayle from a Jamaican standpoint. That's what it was all about.
It can only be discussed as a theoretical, from a theoretical perspective, not practical. And I'm also doing the management. When they say Usain Bolt record can be broken. Personally, it is going to be really difficult. But neither me nor you know what lies in the next 10 years. Somebody could just come up with that capability. I don't see anybody right now, but that doesn't mean that those who are there now can just have a great day. I remember when I have a poll, the world record, I think it was people. I was watching TV this Sunday morning when and nobody in the world figured that it was a world record until the time. I never looked like that.
Yeah, but
I mean 9.5 is kind of different.
Yeah. I think like 19 point what? 19. I don't know if anybody, the closest person to that wasn't that in the same race you and Blake did it, which would have been the pull of Usain Bolt. kind of probably challenged him. So if you don't have someone running like 1920 or 22, nobody going to break because you're going to have to run 1919, 1918, and 1917. I don't see anybody so close to that right now.
I don't see either. But let me ask you this question. When Michael Johnson did that 1927, I think it was.
1932.
Nobody else in the world at that time. 1932. Nobody in the world at that time looked like them could go there.
You know what's funny though? Because Johnson was doing the 400 meters in some record time. People felt like if he came down to the 200, which is the same thing with 400-meter girl from America who is very good. People believe if that she come down to the 200 just based on her 400 meters record, even the Swedish ball, what's her name? So sometimes people can look at those things and say, you know what, based on what you do in that event, if you kind of transition to this event, you look like you could do some ridiculous time.
The same thing happened with our female sprinter. The 200 sprinter, man, what's the name? From the young boy.
To be Sharika, yeah.
Sharika, 400 runner.
Exactly. So Sydney, I'm talking.
She
Sydney,
won a medal at the World Championship in the 400. And where is she now?
So the point I'm making is that you could look at people though. You could look at people and say, listen, based on what they're doing, if they transition to this event, they could get close to it. I watch track and field. That is true, you know. When I watch track and field, how I see Bolt in that 100 meters under pressure and beating him chest. The willpower, the level of concentration to get to 80 meters and can relax. Because maybe if he was succumbing to the pressure around him, he would have tightened up and never run the time. But what I believe happens is that so the mental fortitude it takes, maybe Kishian have the speed, but to be in a race with Tobago, Sembidi, with Noah and all of these guys, same civil in the same race in a major finals, global finals, running the round. I think that is difficult, boss.
I'm glad you made that point. In 2015, Bolt won the 100 meters. During that season, Bolt was nowhere on the radar. Everybody was saying that Justin Gatlin is going to do it. People were saying Bolt was hiding. And I said to somebody, listen, yes, when those 8 athletes go down on that line, it's not the speed that is going to determine it. In the first round, Bolt go through. The second round, Bolt stumbled. You remember what happened in the final? At 80 meters, Gatlin was swimming. Right? And Bolt won the title. No, a lot of people wrote off Bolt from winning that 100 meters in 2015 in China. The majority of the world wrote him off. But the mental fortitude of Usain Bolt prevailed on the line in that final, especially after the semi-final, when he stumbled out of the block, almost fell to the ground, and he went back and his master put him back together and unleashed him in the final, and the rest is history. So it's not just speed, but you never can tell. Somebody could just fall out of the crowd.
Yeah. Well, that is true because I think like Asafa Powell had the speed to do it. But
not the mental.
Not the mental, yes. Bridget.
And we know
let me give you an example. What happened to Kishian in that race against Noah? While I think that they could have given Kishian the race. But do you know that he should not have lost that?
Well, you have to also put into perspective experience.
Well, yeah, let's give it to him because that it is his first major global final. Yeah.
I mean, there are certain things that you don't just get. You have to go through the system to get it. And that's what I think that is one more race before that, at that level, maybe it would have been the Olympics.
True.
But that is nice.
Yeah, man. All right. Sound like a real Robert. You sound like a real. Sound like you talk better than you type, because you type and confuse me,
Because I don't know how come you're talking about 15 world better than 15 record. 15 record, 15 about 20 world record now one match. Usain Bolt will never be able to do that at one meet. Even if you break world record every round.
Yeah.
Have a good one, though.
Yeah, man. All right. Blessings.
Bye,
All
man.
right.
Yeah, man, little more.
All right. So that was Robert Williams. What's the score general that, So this message, this was the earlier message. Thank you again. Bigger than 94. He says, Mount Pleasant FA can be the React Mons What Right to Dream Academy in Ghana is too. Okay, which is a Danish top team. This would open floodgates. Right. So there is a connection between Dream Academy in Ghana and this top Danish club. So what he's saying that the same type of relationship that is between the Dream Academy in Ghana and this top Danish club could be the same sort of relationship that exists between Mount Pleasant and the club that they have acquired over there in Belgium. Yeah.
What we'll have to do is wait and see now for further information from Mount Pleasant. Is it a situation where X number of players will go every year? And, in terms of the Belgian club, what arrangement will be made? Will we see at least 2 preseason games a year? That sort of arrangement. So I'm sure all of that will be tied down.
Yeah, that's a good point, because what if they come and do their preseason in Jamaica? That would be nice.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah, so many things. Or the winter training, sometimes some of these clubs get winter break and stuff like that. So that is if Mount Pleasant could set up nicer facilities and surfaces at their academy, can imagine this club coming out here to do their a winter training here in Jamaica. That's the next opportunity. Big stuff happening. We will have someone from Mount Pleasant on the program on Monday to kind of give us some more details and more of what they're doing out there. All right, Cygnus Media says, let me just read this. Thanks again for the Biggie Dan. Thanks again for the super chat. The second one you have done on Super Friday, so we appreciate it. Thank you very much. People, please hit the like button for those of you who have not done so yet. I don't want you to leave the stream and not hit the like button. We just have a few more minutes to go, and then we will close. It says when Bolt broke those records, he was clocking those times in training. I don't hear about Kishian doing that in training. All right. Well, we don't know. This one says, Duckland, in a current interview, Bolt said that he never came close the world record in training, and he needed the pressure he got in the finals of the big competition. Danny Dredd says, but he's still not dipping at the line, even in the final at the trials. When will he learn, or he just can't do it? Good question, Danny Dredd. Denmark does not have a minimum wage for foreign players like Belgium. It is what tripped up Butler. They don't have a minimum wage. Also, Belgium have a minimum wage. Okay, but Reggae Boys Reactor, the good thing is that I think because these players are from the Mount Pleasant club, whatever negotiations can be taken from here for the ones who would be going. And remember, the club already has a structure where the players are being paid because they did well last year. So I don't foresee the salary stuff being an issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and club to club, when it comes to especially deals like loan deals, you have situations where the parent club pays a salary while they go to a club when that is on loan, in situations like that for loan deals. So yeah, every structure is different, every deal is different.
Yeah, and I hear that Simon. Just on a side note, I hear that Hillel is in Manning Cup this season. Is it first time participating?
First time ever in the Manning Cup.
Fabian Davis, the coach up there.
Honestly, he left 2 years ago, so now it's Sean Fraser, former national player Sean Fraser, went to the Under-17 World Cup with Jamaica. So Sean Fraser is at the helm now of Hillel Academy. Interesting times ahead, I must say, because I didn't think it was going to come this soon, because when I was there under Fabian Davis, he felt that we were a little over a decade away. Well, a decade has passed, so here we are now. It's really interesting times ahead, I think. In terms of the debut in the competition, being there, it's great. But Hillel is not. I
Where,
wouldn't say
where does it, where
numbers.
does Hillel train?
Hillel Academy trains at 51 Upper Mark Way, Kingston 8. So they train on campus at the school.
They have a proper field, a proper
Yes,
size field.
a proper FIFA regulation field. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Greaves Field. Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
maintained well. I'm surprised that you don't find teams in the area actually use that to train on. Like Barbican FC or Shortwood United. I'm surprised they don't use Hillel, but it's fine. Yeah, it's a good surface, and yeah, we look forward to what the season that lies ahead. Some of the kids that are at Hillel are at Ballers Academy or Kingston Football Academy, so that they at least have that experience of playing outside of Jamaica as well.
Okay. So have you been there to see what the team is like?
To be honest with you, I have not been to a training session this season, but it is one of the things I plan to do in the month of August to do so. But I haven't done so yet. But of course, I am behind my alma mater, so I can say I finally have a team to support in schoolboy football, and not leech onto Calabar because my brother or father went there. I can say.
So how does Hillel Academy get to be in it when Mount Pleasant could not?
I don't know. That's a good question. Is Mount Pleasant also an educational institution?
Yes. Yes, and they were saying that they had to be. One of the reasons why Mount Pleasant was not allowed is that Mount Pleasant had to basically allow kids to come in through the PEP system, but Hillel don't do that. You don't.
Yeah, Hillel does PEP. What Hillel doesn't do is CSEC or CAPE. We don't do that to the A levels.
No, what I'm saying though is that Hillel doesn't allow, so I cannot put like Hillel on my one of the schools I want to go to after PEP.
Yes, true. Yeah.
All right. So the Ministry of Education had those issues with Mount Pleasant when Vanny Clark was there. That is why they had to merge with ER Castle. They were running a proper school with kids were doing CXCs, and they never allowed them to participate because they were not getting government funding. So it's kind of strange how Hillel.
I think that's a conversation for Keith Wellington as well, because we saw the transition as well for Heidel going from the private league to Manning Cup. Holy Trinity did the same as well with Nicholas Hamilton's time frame. So, and now it's Hillel as another private institution in Manning Cup competition.
It wasn't Bellier a private institution as well, but no, they are like part of the whole government system.
Exactly. Right. Correct.
Yeah.
So that just leaves the American International School as private. That is not in Manning Cup. Interesting.
Yeah. No, really?
Yeah. ASK is not in Manning Cup.
No, I know that. I know. But let me ask you this though. So, have you ever had a word with Fabian Davis about what? I mean, you were there, and he looked at you and said that it will take 10 years for the school to enter schoolboy football. How did that make you feel, man?
I accepted that because I knew the standard of the private school league. So I accepted that. We didn't have preseason training, and our season was September to December. And from January to May, we were not training. So I accepted that. And that was factual. So I didn't have an issue with that.
So you don't think that was speaking about your quality as a player?
Absolutely not. No, Declan is just being difficult.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and Mr. Stennett saw my ability on English soil, so he knows. No, I didn't take it anyway because I knew. Even though we had Justin McMaster, even though we had Luca Levy, even though we had Simon Preston, I understood that. I accepted that. I accepted that we were not ready for Manning Cup and knowing the regiments. Because if you're having preseason training July, August, then you would need to have all the kids to commit to it. And July, August, our students were on holidays, on holidays and outside of the island. So it's very hard to commit to a preseason program when the vast majority of our squad would be off the island on summer break, on holidays. So that's why it was not feasible during my time.
Okay, but so you're saying that the kids don't go on some holidays again?
They do, but the difference is they cut it short.
Simon, just leave that alone. Don't bother even go there.
Different
The
time.
reason, Simon, it's very simple. Fabian Davis did not think the quality was in the school to go in the competition. That is it. I know you think you have some good talent in the football, but when he looked at what he had in front of him, he just felt like this would be indeed a baptism in fire. And it chose not to. He said, take 10 years. And so when people like you exit and they will of your batch and stuff, the program has come alive. That is it. Yeah. So Peter said, Simon, what is the order of the tiebreaker for the CONCACAF World Cup if two teams are tied at the top of the group?
If you're
Goal
tied
difference?
yes. So if points is the same, then it's goal difference. If goal difference is the same, then goals scored. If you have the same goal score, then it's the head-to-head between the two teams.
Yeah.
So that would be the down or breakdown. Even that is similar, then it's down to yellow cards. So if you have less yellow cards, then you top the group.
This is about disciplinary record. It's not yellow card. They call it disciplinary record. Disciplinary record. Yeah.
Yeah. And even if that is the same, then you're drawing of a lot. So you put two countries in a hat, and whichever you pull out first, top the group. That's the very last tiebreaker.
Marines with Hillel is the opposite.
Is not government.
Is the opposite. Not government fund. they fund the government. Yeah. All right. Don't worry, Simon. Mona did rise from the ashes. Your school can too.
No, we've done very well in tennis and in swimming and in lacrosse. So yeah, man, we've done well in different sporting disciplines.
So Hillel is an official ISA, part of the ISA schools now.
Yeah. Mannings, I played Pepsi under 14, so it is under ISA. It is under ISA because I
don't
played
understand how are they under ISA when they're a private school? Kids can't leave from primary or prep school and go and be placed there. And Mount Pleasant was not given that status, though Mount Pleasant was doing CAPE and CSEC subjects.
Does Mount Pleasant start from grade 1, from kindergarten, or does it start from first form? Where does Mount Pleasant start?
From first form.
Okay.
So they had first form, second form, third form, fourth form, fifth form, sixth form.
Right. Hillel starts from kindergarten.
But from kindergarten to 12 are not a part of ISA school system.
Mm-hmm.
It is high school.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's high schools. Yeah, so that will be down to Keith Wellington on the eligibility. Well, you and Scott really, because he's competitions director, so he would be the best person that can highlight on this matter. You and Scott.
Okay, all right. Maybe we can find out. I'd love to find out though, because I remember even Heidel way back in the days when they were a private school. That is soon after Coney Park and stuff. They were not basically being allowed to until they became like a public school.
Yeah, okay. It took some time from them as well to make the transition over to schoolboy football. I'm not sure if there are certain requirements, prerequisites that a school has to meet first before they can enter this competition.
Okay, all right. Listen, all the best. They will be playing in the. They'll be playing in the Ali Cup competition. So yep. So let's see. Simon, why is Canadian politician email address listed as a contact number for prospective sponsor of JFF Live?
I'm not sure who Radio Boy's director is talking about, so I'll have to look through what he's discussing because I'm not sure what he's talking
about. Hold on. Sylvester Whittingham, come here. How am I conflicted? Sylvester? 'Cause- 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 ' How am I conflicted? Talk to me. Call Sylvester. Don't just type. Call in and talk and tell me. Be honest and open with me. Tell me how I am conflicted. Call in and tell me. Oh, no. I don't disagree with this. I don't agree with this DV group because I am from Kingston 8. Yes, I am from Kingston 8. Yeah, man. Then Whitehall Avenue in Kingston 8.
I know. Yeah, man.
Whitehall Avenue is Kingston 8.
Yeah, Havendale is Kingston 8.
Road, Havendale, Rompton, all of those places. Yeah. So yeah. Bossy Soldier, official. What a go on? Call in the WhatsApp number, no man, and Bossy Soldier. Call in the WhatsApp number, no man. And Bossa one tune. We're supposed to do an interview, you know. Just call in and do a cappella for the people that make them know what go on, man. Call in, man. See the WhatsApp number run right there. You have the number, you know. Dial it right now. At what time? Almost 10:30 we're at, you know. We could close it at. Nice up the show, man. Call in and nice up the show. Big DJ, this, you know. Used to be a big footballer too, you know. Call in the show and job. Oh, you mean, Jasmine? You know that Kingston 8 is Kingston great indeed.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah. Oh, Duckland says he would like to hear your views.
On Manu, I mean, pre-season, we've seen basically the scratching of the surface against Bournemouth and West Ham. I guess you're referring to how I feel the team will do in the season, but the expectations for me, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a high one, but I do think top 7 is something that is achievable.
Top 7?
Top 7, yeah, for United.
All right, so tell me if you believe you'll be ahead of any of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe you'll be ahead of Liverpool?
Unfortunately not.
Manchester City?
No.
Arsenal?
No.
Chelsea?
No.
Aston Villa?
Yes.
You'll finish ahead of Aston Villa?
Yes.
All right. Tottenham?
No.
All right. Newcastle?
Yes.
So you'll finish either Aston Villa, Newcastle, and Tottenham?
No, Tottenham, I said no. But Villa and Newcastle, yes.
You're going to finish either of those?
Yeah. Those are the two I have. Newcastle with another round of European football under their belt. I'm not sure how they'll do it the Wednesday Sunday routine, but we shall see.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think you finish either Newcastle.
Okay.
Because Liverpool made a bid, Newcastle rejected it. They're not going back to the table, and they offered 110. Newcastle are looking for 150. So you know that if it is not 140. So I don't think that deal is going to happen.
Isaac?
Unseen to Chelsea winning the EPL.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we will see unseen. I hear Liverpool winning. Manchester not finishing ahead of Sunderland. Are you finishing ahead of Nottingham Forest as well?
I hope so.
Based on what, Simon? Like, what additions have you made to make you believe you'll finish ahead of those teams?
That is just hope. That is not expectation. That is just hope. That is just surely down to hope. Because, there's been apathy based on how last season progressed. So that is just really down to hope.
You know what position Tottenham finished?
Yeah, 17th, 16th, yeah.
And you have Tottenham finishing ahead of Manchester United.
Yeah.
And Newcastle finishing in the top 4. And you think Manchester going to finish in front of Newcastle?
Yeah. Yeah, Newcastle, every other season, they have this gap. And that has been that trend over the last few years. And so They had a decent season finishing in Europe now. So normally the season after that, they face the effects of it. So that is how I wait as a team that has the European commitments and the league form suffers.
I don't see that.
All right. No problem. At the end of the day, once November 18 come and we qualify, for me, that's the most important thing. If United finishes 18th and November 18 will qualify for the World Cup, that's okay with me as well. That's all right.
So, okay, so you don't mind United getting relegated?
No. Just build the way up.
All right. Ask Simon if he's Hope Road or Old Hope Road.
In relation to what? In relation to what specifically? Hillel is not on those addresses either. I know that you have those addresses in the corporate area, but I'm not sure specifically what you're referring to. I think JC is Old Hope Road. Jamaica College is Old Hope Road, but that's a different institution from Hillel.
Oh, Unseen asking me, Unseen, like predictions and stuff, you know. Listen, here's what I think. Because you can't, so you don't control a lot of things. One thing I know is that City, Liverpool, Arsenal will be part of the top four.
City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
And City, Arsenal, and Liverpool will be a part of the top four.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. You give me that's what I know, sir. So no Chelsea, me give you what me know. What I believe is going to happen is that those three is going to be in the top four.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I am not seeing well. You mean I'm not seeing well?
He said to take out Arsenal, he said.
Take out Arsenal?
That's what Unseen says. Yeah.
Based on what, Unseen?
Based on Chelsea's resurgence.
Based on what? I don't understand. What based on what should I take out? I can only go by Arsenal has had like in the last 3 years, one of the most consistent teams in the Premier League. I haven't seen anything to say that they will, when they have added to their squad. I don't see any reason to think like they're going to be worse than they were. So which teams have actually gotten better to be ahead of them that were worse than them? We have a call online. This is the last call we are going to take for the day. So it better be good or else the show would have ended on a sad note. We have none other than the Liverpool supporter, Demo.
Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself, Simon. I actually believe you 100% that you will finish ahead of Newcastle. I don't think that's a lot to go off of because I think Newcastle will be like 10, 11. So you finishing ahead of them might just be about 9 and that kind of thing. Because I don't think Newcastle will do well because they will be losing Isak. I know management don't want to believe it, but Liverpool will have Isak by the end of this transfer window. This is all negotiation stuff that's happening. The player wants to move, and he will do everything to make the move possible. Oshmanins, man, I just saw it go. All right, cool.
So hold on. So Eze want to move from Crystal Palace. Will Eze leave Crystal Palace? Eze
didn't leave the country and skull training and do all of these things. Isak has. He's refused to train. He has gone out of the country. He didn't go on their tour. He didn't do all of that because he's forcing the move. He told him from last year that this was his last season at Newcastle and he wanted to leave and they did not oblige. So he is doing everything along with his agent to push this move. They're trying to play
so you're telling me because Isak want to leave, Liverpool cannot give them 50,000 and he leaves. because he wants to leave.
No. What?
So what are you?
No, who said that?
Yeah, but they offered 100,000 when they value the play at 150, and you're saying that he will leave. And Liverpool made a statement saying that they are not going back with anymore.
Whoa! When did Liverpool make that statement?
All right, I can't find
Liverpool made no such statement.
Boss, I am telling you, it was on TalkSport, and of course they said that they're not going back. Inside sources, it was on TalkSport. It was on TalkSport today.
Man, listen to me now, boss. Liverpool have made no such statement, boss. Liverpool no report a transfer until you see the man them lift up them jerseys. So Liverpool
did not make any bid.
Journalists?
No, so Liverpool did not make a bid.
No. Liverpool made a bid.
So how you say they don't report?
110.
They made a bid. No. Was the bid rejected?
Yeah, but Liverpool
was the bid rejected?
Man. Stop saying that Liverpool did these things. Journalists report them stuff. The Fabrizio and them people. They don't work for Liverpool, boss.
Let me ask you this. Was the bid rejected?
Oh, so you asked me a different question now. All right. Yes, the 110 was rejected.
All right.
That they bid.
Okay. So let's go by step.
Yeah.
So the first part of what the people said was right. Liverpool made a bid. The second part of what the people said is right. The bid was rejected. The third part is right in terms of the amount that they quoted. All of that you're agreeing that is right. But the part where they said the Liverpool plans are not going back, you're saying that part is not right.
Because that's not what the statement said. That's not what the full statement said, and different journalists are saying different things. So I'm saying to you, don't follow just any journalist where you see come up and say certain things.
So don't follow Fabrizio Romano.
So Fabrizio say that nothing about Liverpool not going back? You don't see that? You see other journalists saying that.
We hear it.
No, you never hear Fabrizio say nothing like that, man.
I'm going
to find Fabrizio's tweet right now, and you will see after the bid is rejected.
No, me not listen to the tweet them. Me listen to the.
No, but
I don't listen. What I'm saying
that's why you're not up to. That's why you're not up to date. Then
no,
that's what I'm telling you.
No, what I'm telling you is that I watch the videos that they make. I don't listen. I don't read the tweets. I watch the videos.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm saying that's why you're not up to date. So I'm telling you, as soon as Newcastle sort out them striker position, we will get Isak. Cool. So we're gonna get Isak before the transfer window ends. So that and not even this McCall but talk about. We just there try to show you what's what, because there has been a lot of conflicting reports about Liverpool going or not going back. But I'm telling you as a Liverpool fan that once Sesko or Wissa, whoever they are going to get, only Watkins, whoever Newcastle is going to get, Isak will be a Liverpool fan.
Sesko going to Manchester United.
Nobody knows that yet. He wants to go to Man U,
but I'm telling you that's no, he's going to Manchester United.
Well, until we see that, then I will say that. But we just say they have options.
All right.
Them have options, all right? So I'm going to say whether Wissa, Sesko, Oli Watkins, and somebody else. They have on them shortlist. Cool? So that's that. So my actual call was just to say, I wanted to, you're going to say something else about this? Because I move on from footballing.
No, man, go ahead, because I find the thing to send to you and to Drew.
You can't send me nothing, boss. I tell you, I already saw it. You said
find a thing. I'm here going to find it. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're going to find where
I'm
Fabrizio said.
Boss, I am going to find what I heard. I'm going to send it to you. And then you can then listen to it and tell me that these people are not credible and I should not listen to them. I'm going to send it to you, Andrew.
No, you said Fabrizio. I know I hear these people. Man, say Fabrizio. You said Fabrizio said that.
Did you also hear me mention TalkSport as well? So you don't want to hear.
No, but Fabrizio me I talk about. So I hear about nobody else other than Fabrizio.
So what I'm saying that so we should not listen to TalkSport because TalkSport is not.
I don't know who you want to listen to. Me I talk about Fabrizio, man. You said to me, say Fabrizio said, and I said no, he did not say that.
Anyways, me go send you the information on me. Hold on. Let me see me.
All right, fine. As long as I Fabrizio. So me will finish by saying this, right? Like West Indies. Like honestly, may I try it like really I try. Cool. I was going to get media passes for go to Florida and watch these games in the mornings, man. I tell you, you know. And and something came up. Like God just said to me, yo, Demo, you know what?
Demo, yes, God tell you not to go to the game.
Where you say, man?
Where you gonna tell you that? God tell you that to go and watch rest of the day?
No. I say it's like don't waste your plane ticket, boss. Just
God tell Demo, God tell you not to waste your plane ticket.
I did not say, well, man, is man just a misquote of I never said that. I said it's like.
All right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm just want to say this, boss. Like the fact, so we'll go back for Johnson Charles for come play for West Indies cricket in a 2025, bro. The thing just really hurt me. Me just really turned off from that time there because we cannot win a game. We cannot win one game apart from losing every toss in Australia and the series. And we'll come here and finally win a toss. We cannot win a game. Right, man? I may do this in a 1 minute because I don't want to use your channel to vent about West Indies cricket. But I just want to say this. Shea Hope and Darren Sammy are like, everybody just seems so clueless. The man them play Gudakesh Moti as probably a specialist fielder yesterday. The man don't bowl one over as one of your leading spinners in a T20 cricket. Him bowl one over. And number 4. No, but that's what if he has one ball batting at number 4. But let me talk about the bowling first, right? Because you know what them say? You remember this thing, man, is man when
first thing, Demo.
First
thing, West Indies played a match.
Yeah, last night.
Against who?
Pakistan.
Oh.
Before last year. Yeah,
the point I'm trying. The point I'm trying to make is that after the 28th, I am so far from West Indies cricket. I'm like 20. So I didn't even know that they were even playing cricket.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. But we know want to stay long. That's why I may try rush it, right? So you remember this thing that them vote out Ravman because they're saying that they want to go with a more database-driven captain.
Yes.
And Ravman is more about, in the feelings kind of thing or whatever. These guys did not play our bowl Moti one over, who is one of the leading spinners, because them say 2 left under their bat. And sure, I understand matchups, because I play cricket. I understand cricket. I understand matchups in cricket. But you're going to tell me that one of your best bowlers don't bowl one ball because 2 left-handers are face? It was so ridiculous to me. Then him no bowl no ball, you send him for combat a number 4. After he met Johnson Charter there, swing like a old rusty gate and cause so him play a match-losing innings yesterday. Right? You send Gudakesh Moti for combat a number 4. Him face 1 ball and out. Him obviously play as a specialist fielder. You know what the captain come out and say after we lose? This guy gonna come and say, we don't know what would have happened, He could have come and bowled 4 overs for 3 runs, but we don't know. It was as 2 left-handers were. But I mean, like, what Shea Hope and Darren Summit, like, when they just come for just cause more pain? Like, we don't understand, like, what is happening with our cricket? We were having what do you call it? An incline in our performances on the Ravman Powell. Zane will start lose at the back end of his thing, but it's like we don't recognize this team anymore. And the last thing is, Johnson Charles came because them say Kyle Mears have visa problems, right? Because them go to Mears first, and them say have visa problem. My thing is, like I tell him, I follow cricket a lot. Kyle Mears was here in America just the other day. I play MLC cricket, so I don't know if your visa can just expire so fast that you don't have it anymore.
It can.
Yes, it can. Yes.
Oh, so that's all right, fine. I'm not going to cost then. So it probably is true.
He probably was on a 1 entry.
Yeah. And the visa is just for the duration of the MC.
1 entry.
Yeah.
The day after the tournament.
Okay, fine. I won't cost them for that. So, all right, Johnson Charles getting pass. But they made a lot of wrong decisions and stuff, and I just need to win one game. That's all me ask. So. Just one.
Tomorrow.
I'm desperate. No, we just need one win. All right, that's all me. Just I would say tomorrow.
All right, boss. I'm
the irony of the thing, man, is that Pakistan bowl we down with spin because the pitch was spin friendly, and one of our top leading spinners couldn't bowl because 2 left on the bat. That's all me do answer.
All right. Big up yourself, Dimo. Me send you the clip, right? So listen to it.
All right, may I go watch it.
All right, then. Yeah, man. All right. A little bit. I didn't even know West Indies.
Yeah, man. I was watching it last night.
Electronic, big up yourself. Also, when is the next game?
So 8 o'clock tomorrow and 8 o'clock on Sunday. So you can set your time to be able to watch it. Tomorrow and Sunday, 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah, back to back. Yeah, back to back.
Right, exactly. Yeah, back to back. And then they go to Trinidad for the ODI part of the tour. And then after that, they go to Nepal. So, yeah, a lot of cricket coming up. And the World Cup is next year, as you know, so which is on the subcontinent, India and Sri Lanka. So it's like finding
two World Cups next year.
2? Oh, yes. World
Cup of cricket, World Cup of football.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. All right, Simon, listen, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Good show. Lots of good. Listen, let me just say this because I'm going to talk election, so I want to make sure you can run, you know. So listen, people of Jamaica. Years ago, I watched a clip where there was a sound clash between 2 of our politicians, Damian Crawford and Darrell Vaz. And they were talking about how they were good friends and all of that, and them are brethren. And, you know, when you see them saying things about each other, they are brethren, good friends. All right, a lot of the people in politics were either at UE together in different stuff. Classmates, batchmates, very good friends. They don't fight. They may say things verbally in public to insult one another. But after in time, they meet up in private and they have discussions. It is foolhardy for the supporters of the party then to be engaged in the type of discussion that leads to violent conflicts when those who you're going to be voting for are bosom buddies, we would call them, and brethren and sisterins. Their kids hang out. They go to each other's birthday parties. Opposite side of the fence, and their godfathers and godmothers for sons and daughters. Kids call, they don't say Prime Minister Andrew, they say Uncle Andrew, Auntie Juliet, Auntie Faval, Uncle Mark, Uncle Dayton, Uncle Darrell. That's what they call them, male and female. Yet the people out there who have a vote, who when the election is done, very few of you get anything at all. And what you get during the election don't last after the election day. So my thing to you is just vote and leave all sort of argument and quarrel. I cannot understand all of this contention happening. The tearing down of banners for this party and that party and all of that stuff makes no sense at all. And we need to get to the place where there is no PNP place or JLP place, but it's all Jamaica. That whether a man wear orange or green, he can be anywhere that he wants to be without fear of being attacked and beaten. All right? You know and I know that more than 50% of you that are on the motorcades are not registered to vote. Some of you cannot vote, some of you will not vote. All right? So stay on the yard and let the contestant go there and do their thing. And if you don't want to vote, then don't vote. All right? That is my word of advice to you. I have some elders and some brethren where I sit down with sometimes and talk to them and play a draft and they're PNP. It's kind of amazing because in the group of people you have Jehovah's Witness, you have Adventists, you have Pentecostal, you have Charismatic, you have JLP, you have PNP and thing. And yeah. And I follow the social media thing, you know, because I love to see what is I love to vote for Labour, vote for me and my neighbor. That is the song on the JP March. Oh, the March one. We are March. I mean, I love the songs. I love the song. Me love see the people them in a them heap of orange or them heap of green and them a dance and them a carry on. A lot of the antics and the platforms nice to see and stuff. I even think like artists could connect with them and speak and talk. But man, don't let it get into people hurting, people burning down people's, smashing up people's cars, destroying people's property, threatening people's life. Those things are not necessary. Let this election be fun. You understand me? And that is where I am at. At the end of the day, whomever is the government, we all have to accept them and work with the program. All right, Simon, I don't know. What is your advice to the people out there as we anticipate election? Nothing to say.
Let's unite as a people so that November 18 we can all celebrate World Cup qualification.
All right. So people, bless up. That's the end of the show. If you have not yet hit the like button, please go ahead and hit the like button. Please share. You know that what I'm going to do is on the 6th of August, I'm going to have a show where Peso, who says that is power I'm deal with, the power people them can talk, and the shower people them can talk to see if they can influence people to vote for them. I need a power person and a shower person to come and encourage people to vote and why they should. All right, I am Management. This is I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, big up to Simon Preston, big up to Bam, big up to all the persons who call in. People, please hit the like button before you go. If you have not yet subscribe to the channel. Can you believe, Chorus, that Peso is on here giving people reason to vote for the PNP and somebody else giving reason to vote for the JLP? That will be interested. Oh my Lord. Yeah. And Duklan say him is a shower and Pesa is a power, but Duklan can't vote. So I don't know that is going to work. Yeah. All right, people. So bless up. Have a good day. I'm Management. I'm going to end with, Simon, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Same to you, sir. Same to you and the family.
Yeah, thanks again. All right, bye-bye.
Watch this. You know, say the World General Daily Ranks says, I'm ready for it, A lick up and a fall cup, you know, say, it's a high grade, it's not a Mali cup. Saying, big up, a matter of fact, remember big up the sponsors, them first. Complete Shipping, Sam Isaacs and Son, Western Sports. Big up, but you know how it go. ASK Courier, big up yourself, Showtime Ambulance, I want to big up Isato. And guess what? I big up some of my brethren, them, because them are going to because it's a big day. Big up Sambo. Big up Bats, Barris, watching the Valley, think me not see you. Big up yourself. Who again Daily Ranks if I big up Clint and big up the general, you know it go. It's all about Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, August 13, 14, 15, 16, 137 Mountain View Avenue. You know, over excellence and that. It's a big day, so make sure you're there. Daily Ranks. I want my feet, man. My feet, you see? Ali Cup.